Hello everyone, welcome in. And I didn't switch on my mic software, oh dear. I don't think it really makes a difference, but let's just be sure. Especially on a day where I feel like I'm still not 100%. How are we doing? How are we doing? Sorry, I've been a little bit unwell, so we didn't really have our usual Saturday stream. It was a lovely 7 hours, 6 hours, very long time of doing noodle building. I like that term. I think we're literally going to call it that from now on. That was fun. Thank you to everyone who was there. I think we figured out our stream setting situation. So that's been good. How are we doing? Rai, Treezy, and anyone who is lurking, welcome into a slightly different City Skylines II stream. As requested by the viewers. So, oh my goodness me. Okay, so we've been having so much fun doing Montai City, and I feel like everyone has most of the people who are here don't usually watch City Skylines anywhere else, and it's piqued some curiosity as to whether this is a game that works for everyone. But I've realized as well that my way of playing it makes it quite tricky because, well, we play with a ton of mods, and I feel like so far the impression that we've been giving is that this game is just the most unstable thing, which it is true. Like, when you play it with mods, it's just a disaster waiting to happen. But I feel like there is also a lot of potential with just playing the game vanilla, and there were quite a few people who were like, I might play the game if it actually runs stably, so I thought, let's try a series, let's do this, vanilla, and show you what the game is actually like, so that if you're considering getting this game, because it is quite an investment both for costs and file size wise, you can see whether this is a game that works better for you. So yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. Are you feeling better? I'm feeling the same. So I've just been hovering at this place of not unwell enough to be stuck in bed, but also not well enough to get my things done. So I've just been I've completely not touched my work in a few days now, which I'm not really the best situation to be in. But yeah, so I think we're on the way up, hopefully. Well, I had an actual night of sleep last night versus 2 days ago when I was up until 4, unable to sleep. So that didn't help for the next day. But yes, okay, so for those of you who happen to have the game and want to play along and start with a new series with us, feel free to do so. I've heard rumors that apparently a certain Raimonora is gonna give it a go. So I don't know if your internet/computer is able to handle sharing screen while you do it. But if you're able to try it on our Discord, I'm very curious to watch and see it happen at the same time. But yes, okay, so while we do this whole series of vanilla, right, I'm just gonna play the way I usually do, try and explain a bit about how I play the game. So it's not a foolproof this is a tutorial of how to play the game, but it's more, I've played this game for about 10 years now, and over time I have felt some things work better than others, and that's just how I feel what works for me. So you can try it and see whether it works for you. Okay, so first things first, if you're playing this game for the first time, there are some things that you want to do in the options before you even go in, especially if your computer's not the strongest. I will say, okay, some things that I always set to start with is the autosave. Just note that every time it autosaves, the whole game will stutter for a second or two. If you find that annoying, just lower it down. But when I was doing Montai City, I did 10 minutes, 3 autosaves. I think for this vanilla city, we don't need that much. It's not really gonna crash, but it's good to have backups for when you're building this sort of game. That's the most annoying thing. You got me, City Skylines 2, ready to copy everything you do. Oh my gosh. How are you gonna approach this? Are you literally gonna do exactly what I do, or are you gonna kind of try it out? Okay, next things in your settings. If you're trying to multitask at the same time, I would change game cursor from confined to window to free, so that way your mouse can actually leave the game. So game cursor, change it to free. And then, so also sorry there's no music. This is another thing I would remove in the game if you're doing it. The menu music is very annoying, so I turned it down. I think just for today, we're gonna have a little bit on, just so it's not silence. Okay, under gameplay, Try this out on your own and see whether you prefer it, but I like edge scrolling off because I have the ability for my cursor to leave the screen. So I switch off edge scrolling. I have like the tutorials and stuff off, and the day-night visuals depends on how you like. Some people like the feeling of like, oh, it's turned into night, I can just watch my city, that sort of thing, but it can be annoying when you're trying to build because you can't see. For this series, I'm gonna start with having the visuals on, and then we will see whether or not like it makes sense as a viewing experience. So that's gameplay. On the interface, you might want to take a note of these two. So highlight unlocked and chirper pop-ups, especially chirper pop-ups. There is a little birdie in this game that likes to like inform you when anything happens, and it gets very annoying. You might want to switch this off if you find it annoying. So the option's here if you need it. Okay, so here's also where you can do all of the like 24-hour clock, Celsius metric, all of those things. You can also change the color of the UI from blue to orange if you prefer, or if it helps, like if you have certain, I don't know if it applies to like color blindness stuff, but I'm sure there's a reason why they did this. Oh, whatever this is. Okay, we're not doing bright blue. I think let's just do normal. And yeah, there's some like keyboard shortcut things, the basic things basically. Basically. Already off to a bad start, don't have the same settings. Oh yeah, so the default settings will not be like this. So you need to like actually switch some stuff up. And some of these things are stuff you can try over time. So it's like, it may not start with those settings, but if you find that you want to adjust it, feel free to do so. Rai, I think for you specifically, I might want to adjust cloud quality and volumetric quality, because I don't know how strong your computer is. So if it's lagging and stuff, like feel free to change these or like turn it off. You realize you're in the launcher and not actual game. Oh, okay, launch it, let's go. Let's get it loaded. So, okay, when you're playing this game for the first time as well, right? Few things, okay? So, when you first load the game, we've got this notification thing here, right? It's gonna pop up a thing that says virtual texture processing or something. So this is basically just loading some stuff in the background. You can go ahead and play the game, but I find that it like drops the frames and makes it slower, so it doesn't take too long to load anyway, so I'd rather just wait for it to load and then start my game. Okay, so, and then the last thing is, if you're getting this game for the first time, right, and you're getting it like a completely blank slate, I know this is a vanilla series, but under Paradox Mods, this developer has actually released free content for the game. So if I open up Paradox Mods, right, there are these creator packs that exist, right? So Paradox Mods, with filter, so you see all these region packs. So these are official content that comes in like from the developer itself. They're having some issues with their whole like, I don't know, like asset situation. So this is their way of releasing the content for you. So you can go in and then you can look and see like if you want to get say French buildings and stuff, you can just do add to active playlist. And then it takes a while. It's a very big like, these are all a few gigabytes each. So this is more in your own time if you feel like expanding your like catalog with stuff. Then that's official stuff as well. Feel free to do that. For today's series, and at least for a start, I'm not going to do that, just in case you're starting from a blank slate and you want to see the game like plain and Jane, if you will. Okay, so, oh my gosh, also I've been so distracted today because we've got a fancy little new device that has joined the family today, everyone. So I will, like... Oh, actually, okay, we'll wait for... Rai, give us a cue of when you're, like, loaded in, so that we can do this together. But okay, so, for the last few years, I've been eyeing getting, like, some kind of portable gaming device. Just because the way my whole, like, life is set up is that I do a lot of commuting. So it's either I take a bus and a train over into, like, my studio, or I take the train into the city to meet friends, and it always takes like an hour each direction, right? So I've always felt like I want to have something on the go that I can just use other than like watching YouTube on the phone or something. And we've been through so many different iterations. Rise loaded in. Okay, we'll continue the story later, like as we're building. Okay, so we're loaded in. So let's begin, shall we? So, new game. Now, this is a new thing that they've added to this game, because apparently the original normal mode got really tricky, and I've not tried it since they've updated it. But we're gonna do easy, for a start, assuming that this is again the first time you're playing it. It starts with like more money. You don't have to pay to like upkeep tiles as we unlock them, so it makes it easier if you're playing this for the first time. Now you will see a range of maps you can choose from. A lot of these are actually based on real locations, apparently. So you can take a look and see like which you prefer. Now, theme you can change. Theme can change from European to North American. And then just take a note that some maps will have different features versus others when it comes to stuff like highway connections, train connections, ship connections, all of those things. So you can go through, look at them. So for example, there was one that didn't have... okay, see. So Mountain Village does not have a ship connection. So if you want to explore all aspects of the game, that map will not give you a chance to like use ports and stuff. And then for Twin Mountain, it doesn't have a train connection, which, I mean, how offensive. So there is that. Okay, so I think for us, let's take a look. Let's do... Because I did a trial run just to make sure I remembered how to play the game vanilla, and I was doing coral riches. So a vast coastline expands filled to the brim with natural resources. So, oh yes, that's the other thing. So down here, we've got natural resources. You will need this like for specific industries and as the game informs you what you need. So like you don't have to care too much about this, but just know that like these are things we'll need. The center is dominated by a large lake accompanied by sizable islands suitable for building. Multiple outside connections provide additional opportunities for resource production and transportation of goods. So this is the one that I think we're gonna go for this series. So let's select map. Obviously choose like which one you prefer. And let's do this. Okay, is there a way to increase them? So some of the creator packs, the region packs, sorry, that they've released in Paradox Mods have additional maps as well. So let's just go back here. Okay, over to the mods. And these are official maps as well. Like if you're wanting to try them out. Let's give it a load eventually. Okay, so down here, like we've got the region park maps, right? Oh, actually wait, pause. I'm just noticing here, it's not actually by the people themselves. Oh, I think no. No, I think... Okay, the region packs don't come with maps. However, if you go on the DLC side of the Steam page of like this game, some things have maps, but I can't remember whether or not it's free for everyone because I pre-ordered this game. So I got all of those DLCs, but it's not on for today's series. Like, I decided to remove all of those things. So you can take a look. If not, you're stuck with these, and then as like they release more, you can choose more. Oh, also, let me just check. I think all of the maps are affected by weather. Like, not sure if all of them will snow. Because I'm looking here now. We'll see. Okay, our map doesn't actually go below 0 degrees Celsius. So we will see whether this will actually snow. I'm not sure. Okay, so... if you're here in chat and actually just want to like watch along, do you want to suggest a city name? Shall I just go for a random city name? But while we're setting that up, okay, so these are some other settings we can do before we actually start the game, right? So theme, you can choose between North American and European. That just creates different like default building styles and road designs and stuff. And yeah, so nowadays it doesn't really matter because once you explore the region packs, there's actually so many different like styles of things that you can do. Left-hand traffic, if you are like from a like British kind of system where we drive on the left, you want to use this. I am, so I'm going to use this. Natural disasters, there are some things like tornadoes and earthquakes and stuff. I don't know if there's earthquakes. Tornadoes and stuff, basically. I'm not sure whether to switch that on for today's series. We can always change it again, but I'm gonna leave it off for now. Unlock all if you're really just like sick of actually having to do the unlocking. You can do all of this. And then there's also an official tutorial that the game has, and I looked through it earlier. It's quite clear, and I think like if you really wanted to run through the system of how the game works, you can go through it. Punderland. It sounds like a pirate's place, but it's like it's missing an L. Oh dear me. Okay, so Punderland. Punderland? Punderland. Okay. But yes, okay, so we're gonna get going with our vanilla city of Punderland using the Coral Riches map. Okay, so then we just start game. Ta-da! So which one are you going for, Rai, and what are you naming your city if anyone else is playing this game together? Oh, that's loud. Pause. Okay, so I'm gonna do the second the moon. The moon. English. Okay, so welcome to the game, everyone. So you should see this if your game has loaded. Before we even do anything, let's take a note of some interface things, okay? So if you need a way to get out of this game, the cogwheels up here, the pause menu is this, and then you can exit, alright? In case anything goes wrong. Most of what you need is in this toolbar below, which will feature all of the like different categories of things you can build or do. Some things you will have to click in as well. So like this city information is clickable, so you can open this and it shows you other things. This 0 will also be openable. So there are like a lot of menus here, right? And then when this is unlocked, you'll be able to see what it does as well. So you can change the name of your city down here. So Punderland, if you're really sick of puns, for some reason, you can change it. And then for now, if you hover over happiness, or actually because we don't have any citizens, it won't show yet. But eventually, when you hover over happiness, it will show you like, why are people happy? Why are people sad? So just treat this as extra information for now if you're playing this for the first time. Music, over here, the game will have some inbuilt music selections. So we've got like all of these different stations. You can choose between public radio and urban city radio. So there are a few to choose from. And for the urban city radio, you can actually switch off ads. So that's like clicking. Okay, so for today, I'm going to do the second mood, which is the one I usually do. Okay, and hopefully that's not too loud for us today. Oh, and actually, I don't think it will disable all of those public service announcements, but we will try and switch off the ads. Okay, some other things to take note of is this is the chirper. This is like Twitter on City Skylines. So anything that your citizens are talking about, it will actually just like put things here. I find it annoying, so I've disabled it and just like ignore it completely. But if you find it enhances your gameplay, go for it. Who would get sick of puns? Well, if you have to endure a photos versus 5 toes joke, you might actually have to move on from puns. Is what I'll say. Okay, and then, okay, 2 more things. Importantly, there's an info view thing here. This is where all your statistics are gonna be. So eventually we will explore all of this. And then if you are really struggling, we've got the tutorial guide here. Okay, so if you press the question mark, you will actually be able to run through all the different steps of like how things work. Okay, so you should be okay when it comes to like finding your way around this game. Hi Steph, welcome in. Good morning, question mark. Welcome to a new day, a new dawn in City Skylines 2. Okay, so now that that's the general menu sorted, right, let's actually run through the map. So before I even start building anything, right, even if I know what I'm doing in terms of like understanding the tools and stuff, I like to take a look around the map that you've chosen. So this dotted line, this dotted square represents your buildable area, right? So at the moment, I can't build outside of this area. So we're stuck with this. Over time, you can eventually unlock more until we get to this line. So this cheese-colored line, Ritz is suing for copyright infringement when it comes to the colors. That is the maximum size of the city that you can currently build. I think there's gonna be a mod that actually increases the stuff. And yeah, so but that's just a general sense. Did you hotkey the road? Oh no, I actually just clicked like the toolbar here just to like demonstrate my point. I don't know if there's actually hotkeys for those. Never used it. I always just use the toolbar. Okay, but we'll get to roads eventually. So let's look around the map, right? So apply this to whatever your map is or what you've chosen, right? So you can take a look and see what connections you have first, right? So every map will start with a road connection that's already in the square that you can build. So for mine, it's quite simple. It's just like a simple highway that connects to like one of these smaller 2-lane roads, right? I don't know how they actually count it. 2-lane? 4-lane? four lane roads. But you have 2 lanes going in each direction, basically. Okay, so outside of the buildable area, you may notice, for example, in my map, we actually have rail connections. So, like, you can, once you unlock this area of the map, you can actually connect stuff to it and then start to use it as a functional rail line. Both for cargo and for passenger rail. Again, this is all just like general information. Once you reach that point, you will actually naturally explore it anyway. We do have a plane in the sky over here, so that's another like possible connection you can have. I can't show it yet, but once you unlock that option... Oh yes, actually wait, we can. So do we see this? This up-down arrow? So this is an air connection that brings you to a different city. So when you eventually hit the point of like using airports and stuff, keep in mind that this is what you want to connect to. Most maps have a few. So for example, Liberty Center for me is there. And we have another one here that goes to Theodore. Why is Theodore in the sky? We will never know. It's looking for museum artifacts in the sky, I guess. We also have Carrizo. Oh, and Carrizo, conveniently enough, is a water connection. So we see some cargo ships, passenger ships as well. They're actually just passenger ships. So again, this is a water connection. So you will have lots of random like vehicle just transiting through your city until you connect stuff. But just keep in mind that like these things are there. Hello Sean, welcome in, good evening. Good evening to a so far very stable stream. The peak period is gonna happen in 6 minutes, so we'll see from there. But hope you're doing good. Welcome to a new era of basic City Skylines 2 building. Okay, we also have Royal Lakes, so this is another like connection we can have. Okay, so just scan through your map and see like where things are. Like you don't really need to do much with this information to start with, but it's good to know where things are so that if you ever like develop to that point, you know where like your rail is gonna be, your roads are. So that's the general like map features that you have, okay? So the next thing we're gonna look at before we start building is over in our info view on the left side, top left side I should say, we're gonna click into this because there are some features that will affect where things are going to be built, okay? In particular, let's take a look at down here. We've got air pollution, ground pollution, noise pollution, and water pollution, right? So, if I do air pollution, do we see all of these arrows heading towards the direction of the right? Okay, so this is actually showing you where the wind is going, and this matters because when you get industry and stuff like heavy industry, right, the pollution is going to affect anything that like spreads, right? So if we start building like industrial here, for example, right, the wind is going to make so that everything in this direction will get polluted by air. Okay, so something to keep in mind when we eventually build industrial. Mr. Nana Bulls? Mr. Nana Bulls? Hello, Mr. Partner. I probably just completely dropped the conversation we were having. I think you were still messaging me. Sorry, I will reply to you soon. Oh my gosh, okay. And then, we also have the same for water, right? So you see for water, our water source is actually going the other way, right? So we've got arrows going in this general direction, right? So, same thing applies, right? We're gonna have sewage that applies in this city, and you want the sewage to go away from your fresh water. So it's just like stuff to keep in mind when we start building. Okay, so generally speaking, that's all of the main information you want to take up. Oh, actually, wait, sorry, one more thing. So we've got the water sources as well, like groundwater deposits, right? I don't normally pay attention to this because I usually use like unlock everything. But something to keep in mind, you will get ground pollution for certain types of activity as well, and you don't really want to pollute your groundwater sources. So yeah, and by the way, info views, right, you can actually click on different things. For example, like groundwater deposit. So in case it's too much of an information overload, you can like disable a lot of it to make it easier to see. So yeah. Okay, so hopefully at this point you have a rough sense of what your map's like in terms of available connections, water features, ground features, wind features, so we can start building, right? So, and I found that this starting square is actually quite a generous one, because I was testing earlier, right? It very much seems that way. I've been watching people play this on YouTube since you watched Ash play it the other day. Oh, have you? Have you fallen down a rabbit hole of City Skylines 2 again? Oh my gosh. Hi, Misty. Welcome in. Good morning. We're about to start our city. Misty, you've just joined us at the right time. Okay, so now, as we start building, right, two parts of the bottom toolbar that we'll be focusing on a lot. Okay, so the whole city builder system revolves around building different categories of like development. Okay, so the key ones that we're going to focus on is this section under zones, right? You may notice these 4 colors. So generally speaking, when it comes to City Skylines or like most city builder games, you will be focusing on a phrase known as RECO, right? So I've just put it in chat, and that stands for residential, industrial, commercial, and offices. Okay, so it's all about creating this balance of like demand versus supply of all of these different categories, and each of these different things feed to the other thing. So it's like, if you create more residential, you will then need to create more jobs, and then if you create more like commercial places, you need people to buy the things from. So there's that kind of like trifecta or quad factor, if that's even a word, of these 4 things. Okay, so how the game also works is that you will usually be zoning these, what they call cells. Okay, so you may notice like you probably have a default road already built there. If you give it a go and you like just try all of these different ones, right, you may notice as you hover over these things, it will show all the different colors. This is how you tell the game what gets built where. Okay, so it's not like our normal modded city where I place down buildings like one at a time and choose the specific designs. It actually auto-generates buildings for you based on the size of the cells that you create. So you could zone like this much, you could zone this much, and then it will automatically like build it for you. So that's one thing about the vanilla that's so much simpler, is that like you don't really have to worry about placement of stuff as much as the way I was doing it. Okay, over here in the tools, there's a few ways that you can actually zone. So the default one is actually, you see how we're hovering, this is the paint bucket, like fill tool, right? So it just takes whatever available space it is, and it just like highlights everything. If you want to be more granular, you can go into the second one, which is the dotted square, do this, and then you can actually choose specifically like how much of a square you want to do, which I will be using like as we do this vanilla thing. Okay, and then the last one I don't really use, but you can actually do like one cell at a time if you really want to do pixel art. Just note that you always have to have the cell connected to the road colored, otherwise nothing spawns behind it. So like if I did this entire square, right, but not connected to the road, nothing will spawn. Okay, so that's just like something to keep in mind if you're gonna do the customized way of playing this game. Okay? Did you get inspired by me and I want to teach others too? No, people have been asking like if I can play like the non-modded game so that they can see whether it's a game they actually want to like get for themselves. Okay, so zoning, and in terms of the general category, that's settled. Now, finally, roads. Okay, so if you click on the roads, also by the way, to like leave the menu, just press escape, and then that just like removes everything. Forgot to mention that. Okay, so under roads, we've got it organized under all of the different categories of roads. Okay, so when you're first starting out, we're going to be focusing on like these, the small roads, the medium roads. Eventually, you can unlock larger things like large roads and highways. Okay, so all of the grayed out stuff. Under these, you'll be able to see like all of the different configurations. You will learn over time. Oh, okay, let's skip the ad. Okay, you'll learn over time which icon stands for what, but there's basically like normal roads, there are gravel roads, there are roads with parking spaces that are directly connected, so you can just kind of explore all of these. And then, yeah, we've got like all of these. So we've also got roundabouts and cul-de-sacs, which you may touch on at some point, but for now you can just treat it as like extra information. Okay. when it comes to working with the road tool, right, you may notice this extra window. So the basic ones are literally just building a straight line, okay? So you can just try any road just to familiarize yourself with it. So you don't have to start from a existing road, right? You can just click from anywhere in your buildable area, click, drag, and it will start to create the road, right? So this is the straight road tool, okay? So you can just go in any direction. The tool should tell you how long and what elevation the road is, okay? So when you're happy with the road, you can just click again, and it will generate your straight road, okay? Now, you may notice as well that the tool continues working. So like if you're placing lots of straight roads, you can just keep clicking in lots of different directions. And then when you're happy with it, you actually right click to get rid of the tool, okay? So otherwise it's just gonna keep like going and you'll never stop building roads. And when all roads lead to Rome, that's a few too many roads to be building, okay? So try it out and see, like, as long as you're comfortable with how the tool works, before we move on to the other things. Okay, sorry, we're gonna catch up with chat. What was the other game similar to this, do you remember? I used to play the heck out of this game. Oh yes, SimCity, Misty, so that's what everyone's... But SimCity kind of died off. So unless you are thinking of the really, really old school, like, not even 3D kind of one, the like, what do you call it? You know that angled view that Roller Coaster Tycoon has? Those were the good days of SimCity. Over time, well, you know how it is with EA. They kind of messed up the franchise, so City Skylines is almost like a spiritual successor that has been developed by a different company. And City Skylines 2 is just the latest version of this game. Similar concept though, so it's like the same idea of build cities, have fun, all of those things. Okay, so straight roads done, right? Now, the other tool that I want to just mention right now is that there are a few options for curve tools. You don't really need to, like, use all of it. I tend to just stick with simple curve and complex curve. Okay, so how to explain this simply is that if you're using this tool, for simple curve, we're just creating a start point, one point to curve, and then the end point. So you see this? So like, let's do it again, okay? So first click down to start the road, and then go to wherever you want the curve to turn at. So let's say I start here. If I click, then you can actually go in any direction and it starts to angle from that point, okay? So then when I click it down, it will confirm for the simple curve, right? And then you just keep going the same way that the straight curve does. Is there a dropper tool to continue an existing road type? I don't think there is in vanilla, because I got a mod for that. However, we will get to a tool that allows you to upgrade and replace existing roads, and that is usually good enough for most cases. Okay, so that's simple curve. For complex curve, there is gonna be an extra node that you will create, okay? So from the starting point, we click down, and then we create the first turn, right? So I'm clicking down. I'm creating my curve. So this looks the same as the simple curve, right? But here's where complex curve comes in handy. So I'm going to click again. And now we've created a second point of curving. So do we notice now there is an S curve that we can create using the complex curve. So different use cases for these different curve tools. And then when I'm happy with this, I just click again. And then that creates the curve. Okay, so in summary, simple curve has 1 point of bending. Complex curve has 2 points of bending. And it doesn't need to always be an S curve. It could be that you just want to have like a C shape, but something that goes like that. I don't know why you would do that, but in case you need to, there is that option. Okay, I don't really use the last one, which is a continuous endless series of bends. Which, I don't know, if you're looking to make a snake, I guess might be very useful. Like a quick, round suburb sort of situation. Also, I just created way too much experience for myself. Whoops. Oh my gosh. City Skylines is way more in-depth than SimCity. SimCity got too simified. I agree. Because I enjoyed the most, like, modern version of SimCity, but it was way too simple. And I feel like City Skylines 2 is a nice like upgrade from that, because it, like, City Skylines 1 was really ugly, to be honest, graphics-wise, but I think they've done a much better job with City Skylines 2 to embody a lot of that SimCity, like, 2013 era stuff. Hi AJ, welcome in! You, congratulations, you got first. Oh my gosh, Benny, hi! Sorry, I think I saw you say first, but it was the wrong way around. Okay, so, announcements for people who haven't been here like since the last time, right? We now have a exclamation first command. It will go live, I think, whenever I start my software. So let's say like a few minutes before stream. So moving forward, if you want to claim first, that's how you can do it. Like, just be here a few minutes before we go live and then do first. Okay, so... Oh my god, that's very loud. Thank you, AJ. We also have the random command, available every 5 minutes. Oh dear me. Oh, we have a new one, like, from Saturday. Let's see if it happens today. Okay, but yeah, so... those are the general road tools in terms of the straight or curve stuff, right? Elevation and stuff is commonsensical in terms of like up, down, you know, creating tunnels. Hotkeys for elevation, page up and page down. Okay, so we can just like page up to increase it, page down to decrease it. And then if you go down far enough, it actually goes into like an underground view. So just FYI in case you're wondering what's happening with the UI. If you find that the elevation tool is changing too much at once, so you may notice it's like very dramatically changing, right? That's where these signal bars come in. So if you reduce it to say like the lowest step, right? The increments that it increases by is a lot less. Okay? So you may notice versus earlier, there's more variation. This is very handy when you eventually start building highways and stuff. So you just click through it, there are a lot of different options. So there we go. Wait, what is the command? For which one, AJ? Because you activated it. Okay, next up we have parallel mode, which is useful to highways. It's basically just like, it creates another road in the other direction for you. So, and then the offsets here mean that there's like a larger gap. So if I do 2 versus 1, let's do we see the difference? Like this. So it just changes the gap, amount of gap, like, between the roads. So there's that. Oh, the freezer command. Okay, I was so confused. Oh my gosh, yes, the freezer. It doesn't work, by the way, right? I tried to like fix it and the name thing doesn't show up. Okay, elevation, let's go back to that. So elevation, the shortcut for doing it without clicking is page up and page down. Page up goes up, page down goes down. It's literally like Sims. So if you're like going up and down, just follow that concept and you'll be able to adjust things. Okay? Otherwise, you just do the arrows here, down and up. Okay? So, let's give a few minutes to catch up for Rai. Thank you. Okay, good. Lovely. Okay, last bit before we can actually build now is the snapping menu. So if you're starting for the first time, just ignore like everything else. Just know that this star button switches it on and off, okay? So if you're more comfortable with it over time, you can start to explore what all of the different things do. But I find just knowing that it can go on and off helps a lot. Sometimes you may want to actually build like a certain, say I want to build like in between these two cells, right? The reason why this comes in very handy is you see we have a like 4-lane road, right? And say I wanted to build in the middle of it. Do we notice how it's not actually letting me do that? It's either connecting to the left or the right. So this is usually useful if you're doing like highway connections and stuff, but if I wanted to do it in the middle, that's where switching off the snapping comes in handy. So now I can do it like this. Okay? And you can also switch it on and off at like midway through placing down a road. So if say I wanted to like start in the middle, right? And then connect to it, I will just like estimate with the snapping off once I've started the road. So we're here, right? I can go and then change all of these things. Okay, so let's make it a straight road. I will switch on snapping. And now it will snap to like the usual places that it would. Okay, so these tools are all dynamic. As you are building stuff, you don't have to cancel your entire road. You can just like adjust it accordingly. So like this, all of those things, okay? And one last thing, if you are a seasoned SimCity player from the past, although I don't know, maybe SimCity might have had it, but if you are City Skylines 1 player, this is a thing that has changed from the previous game, is that roads don't have to, like, you don't have to connect to a road, finish it, and then continue to the next side of the road. Like, you don't have to do this anymore. You can actually just intersect roads. So, like, it'll let you just do this. So you can just literally cut through roads and it, like, keep going. It's a lot faster, let's say. Okay, so that is the general tools that I would say are crucial to understand when you're starting to build, right? So if that was a little bit of an information overload, I'm sorry. And you just want to follow along with exactly what I'm building, like, maybe that will be easier. So we're gonna try now, okay? So let's start with our first road for this area. Now, first thing when I always start building is that I think of hierarchy when it comes to city building. So I know we hate this in real life, like hierarchy ideally can go in, well, but yeah, but in city building, it really matters the whole like shifting from a high density area to low density, high volume to low volume roads. All of those make a very big difference as to how smoothly your city will run, okay? How do you build roads again? With the road tool, AJ. With the road tool. Okay, so I will show how it works once we start placing buildings down, right? Okay, so hierarchy example number 1. We are starting from a highway that transitions into our city, right? So I will tend to keep this first road as a major road that keeps the city flowing, right? So we're gonna start doing our first connection, everyone. So just click, you can just extend it, let's say 200 meters, and then do this. Okay, so our first extension to the road. Let's just give people some time so that they can place down their first extensions. And it doesn't have to be exactly what I'm doing, just go with the flow, just try. You can get me to repeat the whole thing. I'm not repeating the whole thing, it's been 45 minutes. Oh my gosh. But we have to do that once over for a start, like if you're really starting from scratch here. Okay, so now that we have a straight line, some of you have asked me before, how do I build like in a not grid, right? So let me show you one simple tip to do curvy roads but make it still feel like it's kind of geometric. Okay, so we're gonna play with the idea of creating arcs, okay? So if I go to the simple curve tool, right? So the one that earlier with just the one click, I can actually... So let me just demonstrate this before I explain how this works, okay? So we're gonna make a much larger than needed curve for what we're gonna work with. So let's do 400 meters. I'm gonna click and then bring it up by another 400 meters, okay? So we're making a... I don't know what it is in a mathematical term, but we're gonna make it, say, a perfect arc of 90 degrees nonsense thingies. English. But basically, it is a 400, like, by 400 curve, okay? So, I'm gonna place it down and create this, right? And you may find that it's actually a ginormous curve, like, it's not actually what I want people to have to run through, right? But the reason why I've done it this way, and this is what I mean by using arcs in your building like tools, right? Is that you can then press B or click on this bulldozer to actually start removing stuff. Okay, so either click on the bulldozer or press B, and now we can go in and delete stuff. Okay, so this tool actually just applies across the board. It deletes everything. So I can now delete almost all of this curve. So there we go. And you see how now we've got a gentle curve that remains. So I'm going back to the road tool. We do a straight line from here. And now we have a gentle curve that still adheres to like a straight line. So this creates much more flowy roads that like run smoothly, if you will, than if I were to just go in and then do like a simple curve like that. Like, you can do it as well, but I find if you're starting from scratch, that's an easier way to guarantee that your roads are going to be smooth. Okay, so try it out if you're building together with us, and just see if you If it works for you, if it doesn't, just scream. Just scream in chat, run, and then we'll explain it again. Okay, so hierarchy that's settled. Right, so we've got this main road going now, right? And one thing that I notice a lot when people are building in City Skylines and they are like still learning, right, is that they may think like, oh, okay, I've done a straight road now, let me now connect it over here or something. So this is where another key concept comes in, right, which is that hierarchy again, applying that concept. Based on the volume of traffic that you expect the road to take on, you want to space out your junctions accordingly so that there is fewer of them. Meaning, for a high capacity road like the main road that we have here, I don't want to break it up with too many stop junctions. Because that's going to create a lot of bottlenecks, okay? So, I might actually only start breaking up my road over here onwards, like just to keep things extra safe, right? So, I'm just going to click here, and then we're going to do like 200 meters to start with, okay? So, that way, I like doing this as a safety net because if you ever get traffic jams or pileups, it doesn't affect the next junction onwards. So if say I did a network or like a road system that was like this, if you will, right? If this junction gets piled up, right, it starts to affect the one next to it and the one next to it. So you want to spread out your junctions. Spread out your junctions, everyone. It's an official term now. So that you can allow for a bit of piling up. Like, you are never gonna experience no traffic in a city, no matter how well planned it is. But you need to leave space for traffic to form. Okay? So, let's do it the same way here. So these are for like the main... Let's call them arteries, right? Think of it as arteries and veins for like your blood vessels. They handle different amounts of blood, right? Okay? As you go smaller to like the smaller roads, you can start to like space the junctions nearer to each other, that's fine. But for the key roads, I tend to leave the junctions more spread out. Okay? So, let's do some more of this, and I'm going to do another of this simple curve concept. Over here, I'm going to do 400 again, just to make life easier. Okay. Also, just to announce for Sean's information, 0 dropped frames as we went through that peak period. So I think everything's good. Okay, so then just delete most of it again. Oh, actually, wait. For this one, I might not delete all of it. More of that. Okay. By the way, don't build too much road. You may notice that we actually have like cash that we're spending. And the more roads we put down, the more like it needs to be maintained. So that eats into your like cost here. Okay, speaking of cost, if you hover over the money, it'll actually show you exactly how much per hour that your city is either earning or losing. Okay, so as we start developing, we will start to notice that it will tend to start in the red a lot. Okay, so okay, I have this general junction, and the reason why I'm creating this is that I need a few different zones to work with. Let's start over here with a general... Okay, so let's say I'm gonna do this area. Okay, spread up AJ. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have our first T-junction-ish area for our suburb, let's say. Okay. And then, now let's place down some zones. Just, I'm gonna mute my mic for a moment, sorry. Okay, so let's place down development. Oh, actually, okay, one more thing that I'm gonna mention about the whole major road versus less important roads, right? I try not to place zoning on stuff like the major avenues or stuff coming directly from the highway. I like to ensure that everything is fed over into an area, like a neighborhood, before roads and stuff get developed. Snot break. Actually, it was just like clearing throat. My nose is fine. It's just like, I want to make sure that it's, you know, not gonna become a cough or something. Okay, thank you, Second Moon. Let's skip you. There we go. Okay, so for this key, let's call it Pine Avenue, right? Pine Avenue will not have any development on it. Okay, so... And then we will start by creating a little commercial area, let's say, over in here. Okay, so if you're playing along with me, I'm doing the marquee tool, the middle one. Steph is gonna lay down and fall asleep. No worries, Steph. Thank you so much for being here. Have a good sleep. Hopefully, the sounds of building lull you off to sleep gently, and as opposed to the random sound effects. Okay, so we're placing down commercial to start with, which is this blue one, okay? So I'm gonna start with a cell like this, just for starters. Okay, so let's say that this area is gonna be like where our shops are gonna be. Okay. And if I keep going, let's say... Okay. Now I'm gonna try a simple curve that isn't the arc idea, just so you can see what I mean. This is another way of doing your small curves. Right? And then let's break it out into a residential area. So this is where you really start to like just play and create whatever you want. Okay, so keeping in mind the whole like don't place junctions too near each other. For a smaller road, it's actually okay. So like you could maybe even do it here. That would be fine. Okay. And then we've got low density housing. Just for a start. Okay. And if you are over along with us placing your cells down, don't feel like you need to fill every single cell that you are creating in terms of the road, right? It's like, I would much rather leave spaces in between stuff for future development purposes. Because as we unlock stuff, you might find that you actually need space to put something and then realize that you've already zoned everything. It's not the end of the world, you can just get rid of the zoning, but like, general practice, don't fill everything that you're creating with development. Okay. So let's say for a start, that's going to be our residential and commercial area. We also will need industrial, which is the yellow area, right? So, this is where I'm going to actually continue extending this area. So, okay. Based on the map that I have, so this will, like, depend on what your map is. The air is going in this direction, okay? So, I want to keep, for now, my industrial over here, so that the wind is actually going just towards the water. That way, we are not gonna affect as many things, if you will. So, let's do this. I'm gonna create a bit of a, like, curvy road, all of that. Let's see. I think that's enough for now. So industrial can be just like this. Okay, and then I'm just gonna place like that square. Okay, so we have a bit of everything to start with. We have some commercial, we've got some residential. We need a lot more residential, but that's just gonna give us a start. You feel bad for the baby roads, why can't they be big roads as well? Oh, over time, if our city starts developing, some baby roads become big roads. They grow up. Okay. Now, one little like bit that I didn't mention in case you are actually playing along with us is that you may notice I've so far been building paused, right? And this is the reason why we haven't placed down electricity and water, which are the keys for getting your city going. Okay, so over in the toolbar we have electricity. I'm gonna click on this. Now there are different like options over here. For now, the basics that you need to understand is that also we had our first bit of drop frames, but not too bad. It's like 100-ish. So all of the roads that you create usually will have these orange lines that represent like low voltage electricity cables. They are built into the road, okay? So these things help transmit whatever electricity you create to your nearby development, okay? That's all you need to know for a start, but just know that as you develop the city further, you may have to eventually understand what is high voltage power as well, okay? But we're not going to touch it for now. For now, what we're going to do is, I like doing wind turbines to start with, okay? So you can just place it like wherever you find gives you the best electricity production. So this all depends on wind. The maximum it actually gets is 5. So I'm going to do one here for a start. Okay, you can also do the small coal power plant, but that thing has a bit of the high voltage stuff, which I'm not going to touch for now. Okay, you convinced me there. Really, Misty? Are you going to be trying it? Please let me know if you do. I would love to see, like, if anyone's playing. Okay, so we placed down one wind turbine, and then same thing for water. Okay, there's gonna be like lots of different things that you'll see when you first open the menu. The key things is that roads have the blue lines, which are the water pipes, and the yellow line, which is the sewage pipes. Okay, they are separate pipes, but most roads have it built in. Okay, but when it comes to the actual like equipment facilities that you need to place down, they are usually separate. Okay, so I'm going to start with a water pumping station. So this is fresh water. Fresh water is going to go along the waterfront. Okay, so let's say like here. I'm going to place this down. Okay, and this thing you may see is lacking a connection. Okay, so these kind of orange warnings will guide you as to if a building is not functioning, what's happening. Okay, so in this case, it says road required, water pipe not connected. So we don't have those two things because a road isn't connected. So if I just do this over here, okay, that actually has resolved the issue. And then that way, this is now functioning. Okay, so we have fresh water for our city settled. And you may notice when I placed it down here, our water flows in this direction, right? And so that is why I'm now going to be placing the sewage down here. Because if I place it here, the water is going to flow this way and it won't affect our fresh water. Okay? Yes, but after you play along with this stream later, oh my gosh, okay, cool. You love SimCity and this will fill that void. Oh, City Skylines 2 is an amazing, like, successor almost to the whole SimCity franchise. Just make sure your computer can handle it. It is a very intense game to run. So, I think if Rai is able to play it, you should be okay. Okay, so, we've placed down the sewage outlet. And for this one, for some reason, we don't need a building, like a road to connect to it. But we do need to extend a sewage pipe to it, okay? So, this thing is a node. If you, like, hover over it, it will automatically snap. Just click and connect it to the nearest available like sewage pipe. Okay, so in theory, right, technically this have both now been connected. Okay, which means if I press play, we should be able to get a functioning city. I say functioning city, but we're literally dropping frames. So, functioning city, not functioning streams. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna give it a moment to like recover from this. Okay, peak period one. So we did have a little bit of a drop. But other than that, I feel like we were quite stable. So I'm just back. It might be like a top of the hour thing. Because it's like, I remember when we had the little bump issue as well at 4 PM. Yeah, maybe it does that. Okay, but I'm just gonna give it a moment. Let us recover from this before we move on. Also, hi Brangan, if you can hear me. I'm not sure if it actually like can be heard at this point. Okay, let's just give it a moment. Okay, hopefully we have mostly recovered from that frame drop. Okay. I was so ready to like do a big reveal of like, oh, here's how the city's gonna look like once we press play. But okay. We should be good now. Lagging streams, technical difficulties, it is what streaming is, yeah. And I spent an entire Saturday afternoon like testing my settings as well. Azzy, hello, it's a book raid. Welcome in, Azzy. How was your stream? Oh my gosh, Azzy, I'm so sorry. I got like so distracted by a certain something that has entered my life. Oh yeah, actually, okay. Before we do the whole like reveal of Let's Press Play, right? I'm gonna continue my story. So I've been on a hunt for a like portable handheld gaming device for the longest time. I've been bouncing between whether to get something that's like based on Windows, like a Steam Deck or an ROG Ally, that sort of thing, or something that's an Android-based thing because they run better with battery and stuff. And recently I was like, oh, my birthday's coming up soon, so maybe I can buy myself like a nice present just to make life slightly happier. And I landed on a device that I've been wanting for the longest time, but I thought was out of my price range because someone was selling it on our eBay for literally like the exact configuration, the colors that I wanted, and the price was like way cheaper than it's supposed to be. Hold on, do I have this? Does it show? Okay, here we go. So this is the device that it's called. It's an AYD Odin. If you watch like retro gaming videos on YouTube, like you would be familiar with this device. If not, just know that it is basically an Android phone that has like controls on it, and it runs a like pretty decent processor where you can run lots of like emulators and stuff. It's a device that fits my way of playing games because I really want to play like all sorts of Game Boy Advance games, PlayStation 2 games, and I'm perfectly fine with the whole like, you know, having to fiddle around to make things work. So this is what I've been trying to set up the entire of today. So that's why I got distracted, and that's why I'm sorry, Azzy, I wasn't there, but I'm gonna catch up with the VOD. Okay. So, okay. Moment of truth. Let's now press play. I'm gonna press play. Oh, shortcuts, by the way. Those of you who are playing along. So if you want to control the speed of your simulation, it's spacebar to stop and start. 1, 2, 3 to adjust the speed of the simulation. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, adjust the speed. If you don't want to do it on the keyboard, just do it here. Click at the bottom left, and it does the same thing. Okay? But yes, you can see we have things moving. So our water supply and all of that should be okay. And as you keep doing like successful development stuff, you may notice you're earning XP. This will eventually unlock more things along the way. So like just keep that in mind as you're doing that. Okay. For those of us who
Second moon.
No second moon radio, goodbye. For those of us who took this moment to quickly duck to the toilet, can we please do slow speed? Oh yeah, don't worry. For today, I'm doing mostly slow speed. Like, first episode in, we'll go slower. But yes, welcome in, Azzy, to my first vanilla playthrough of City Skylines 2. We have just placed down our first developments. We are witnessing them develop. So, because we are looking at our first buildings here, right? You can obviously click on them and you'll like learn more information. Once it's actually fully built, more information will spring up. Okay? Successful development. Is it possible to have unsuccessful developments? Yes, very much so in City Skylines 2. If you develop it the wrong way, your like traffic situation and your demand and stuff is gonna be really messed up. So, yeah. It really depends on how you plan. Although, if you are just like still trying to figure out and learn this game, I think the biggest thing to take away from it is like, don't pressure yourself to build a perfect city first time out. Remember that you can always start again. There are lots of different styles of building that you can experiment. And if you don't like an area, just delete it and try again. Like, it doesn't mean that something's gone wrong and then like, therefore, oh, I suck at this game. The thing about city building is that there's a lot of experimentation and like almost being like a scientist and observing things go wrong and then like just seeing how to adjust it more than anything. So that's a very key thing of like when you play this game, is expect things to go wrong. Can you add more areas to your city like SimCity couldn't, but I thought you could do for this? You can. We haven't gotten to it. In fact, I think at the next level it will unlock and then I'll show you. But this small square is the starting tile, whereas we have up to this dotted line to build. I'll show you again when we unlock it, but yeah, there's like this whole space is buildable. I don't know if your computer wants to build like in that entire space. It might actually set on fire instead, but the option's there. So, okay, so while we witness, oh my gosh, is that our first like citizen? It is. Okay, so now how I'm doing this is I clicked on the vehicle And then you see we have all of this information. All of these search bar things are clickable. You can look at all of this information if you'd like. Hovering over things tells you more. So feel free to like look at this in your own time. But the key thing is, also you can rename stuff. So if I make this like a Honza mimic, that works. Okay. Then one more thing that you might want to know for using is that this pinpoint thing makes you track the vehicle. So now we're actually following along with Helen Velazquez's journey into our city. So over into 15 Holly Street, Helen goes. A bit of a sharp turn, Helen. Book rate, hello Sam, welcome in. How was your stream? Sorry, as I mentioned, like when Azzy came in, I was distracted today. I was setting something up. Oh my gosh, I have like, I might put it in my Discord, but I managed to do a thing with Dinkum today, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it runs. So I may like show it in Discord later. Complete experimentation though. Okay, so Helen has made it. It's our first house. Okay, so over here, right? Same thing. If you click on the house, it will actually show you more information. I just know that over time, existing buildings level up and upgrade themselves. Okay, so like as we leave the city to run, these levels will go up depending on whether you're providing enough services and stuff. And once it hits the next bar, it will like upgrade and improve stuff, apparently. She can't drive. There are no driving schools in this game, I don't blame her. Okay, but yes, so we have our residential now, we have our commercial going, we have our industrial going as well, so everything is developing nicely. So this is where I would like to introduce another layer of information when it comes to building. So over in this area, do we notice how we have some colored bars? Green, blue, and yellow. So this is going to be a key indicator for you as to whether you'd like to develop. This is the demand like area. Okay, so this is basically your city's way of telling you that people want more of a certain type of development. Okay, so at the moment, more people want to have residences and shops. Industry is doing okay. That's why it's not fully yellow, like filled. If you click into this under city information, it will actually explain a bit about like what you need or why there is demand. Okay, so over here, residential's on maximum because there are no more empty buildings, there's a lot of jobs, and people are happy. Okay, and then for minus, okay, I don't really know why this one's still minus then, because it's like demand is full. But yeah, like that's generally how things work. You renamed the families before the houses were finished and your first citizens, Misty. Oh my gosh, lovely. Yeah, so you can do that in the game, basically. You can rename everything, the shops, the roads, the people. Oh, by the way, right, so if you happen to form a connection with a certain citizen that you'd like to follow along, let's say this is Fletch the bully. Okay, so if you want to keep track of their lives, you can actually click on this plus icon to follow the citizen's life on your journal. Okay, so if I click on this, it now leaves this information under this followed citizens button over here. Okay, so if I like for example show it like this, it will show whenever they get like a new job, when they've moved in, when they've broken up with someone, and then they will stay in this list until you either remove them from the like following list or they die, basically. Okay, so now we're gonna follow Fletch the bully as she starts their job at the water pumping station and standing in like the middle of nowhere as usual when it comes to Fletch. So in case you want to follow Misty along on her life in what was it, Cheap Shopland, that's what you can do. Okay, but yes, so as per the demand indicators, it appears that we can actually develop more houses and shops and things. Oh, very important note about this demand thing. Just because there is demand for something doesn't mean you actually have to build, right? Because I find this is a key thing as well when people like play City Skylines for the first time. They think like the whole point of the game is to constantly make sure that there is no demand. That is not how you build in City Skylines, okay? So it is okay to leave your bars full and in demand. It's just an indicator. So it's like a, if I were to develop further, there will be buildings built. That sort of thing. So the objective of this game is not to have like all these bars empty, if that makes sense. Okay, so don't feel pressured to have to keep developing in order to satisfy demand. You will end up in a situation where you've developed your city way too fast and it will become very stressful. So just be relaxed about it. If there's a bar there, just know that if I'm gonna place down more buildings, it will build. So for example, if I now start building like in this direction a bit, let's go here, like up to here. Okay, and then I place down more low density housing. See, it immediately starts building, and that's because there is demand. Ta-da! Okay, so you can try that for yourself now in the city as well if you're building along. See where you'd like to keep developing, and you'll notice if there is demand for it, it will usually just spring up straight away. So I'm gonna build in this direction as well. Over here maybe. And then again, same principles, leave enough space for future development. Okay, and I'm actually gonna do... So we have a few like versions of how to build here, okay? So on this side, I'm gonna do more of a curvy section. And then over here, I'm gonna do more of a grid system. So now we can explore like the two different ways of doing it, if you will. Okay. So we build like this. Am I selling illegal goods out of the back? Oh my gosh. Why does it say wretched for the car? Okay, so the wretched term here, where is it? Not wretched. Okay, here. This actually represents the income level of the household. So obviously with a city like simulator, we do need to like simulate real life, right? So wealth levels and class systems do affect your city's development. You do need a good mix of everything to serve out. So for example, oh, I don't think these are enabled yet. Okay, over here. So we've got both education levels and like building levels. And you need to balance your job positions and demand of like all of these different categories. If it's too much information, just ignore like this section. Just know that your city affects, like it's affected by all of these things. Oh, Benny, it's random! Exclamation random. And the sound is still in that roster of like things. Okay, so it currently is wretched because they, I think, are very poor. And over time, as they like improve themselves and go for education... Oh my gosh, Yahoo! Lovely. There we go. Okay, yeah, so over time, their household wealth will go up. Oh yes, we're getting experience. Population has increased. Citizen happiness has increased. You accidentally condemned Azzy's house. Oh, okay, what did we do? Did we destroy it or did we add another road? Sometimes, if we add roads, right? For example, if I do... let's say I wanted to add a road over here on top of an existing development, right? So if I do this... let's do... Oh, it's not letting me. Okay, let's do this. Oh, it actually auto-deletes. Okay, sometimes the road will actually like affect the existing development and then it will be destroyed. So if it's condemned, just... Unfortunately, Azzy has to look for a new location to live. Just delete and destroy that, like, abandoned building. Okay, so... Yeah, that's generally, like, why things are going. While we're doing the grid system, right, let me also show you a way of detailing when it comes to building in this game, okay? So... There are actual parks that exist in this game, functional parks. They are currently unlocked if you're playing to this same level as we are. But there are also ways to decorate that don't require actually having buildings, right? So, and this is what I love to do for custom kind of designs. So under landscaping, this tree with the shovel, right? This is where all of the extra tools are gonna be. Okay, so you've got terraforming, which... I won't touch for now, but if you want to explore that, it's similar to Sims in that concept. We've got, I almost said vegetables, we've got we've got vegetation with the bushes and like all the trees and stuff. We've got pathways, including bridges, and then we've got all sorts of like little decorative props. So if you want to like add a garden bench and stuff, there are the options. It won't be as easy to do as when I do my multi-city builds because you'll be restricted with like overlapping stuff. But at least there is the option. So, for a grid system, for example, here, right? You may see that right now I can actually place all of the squares technically. Like I could do this, right? I'm not going to. What we're actually going to do is do a little bit of a custom park area. Okay, so I'm going to do, let's say 5 by like up to this amount. Okay, so I'm gonna do here with the zoning of the residential, leaving a gap over here, and I'm going to go into landscaping while they are building their houses, and we're gonna create a little like interim park. Okay, so I'm using the pathways here with the pavement path. Same concept with the placing of roads. Okay, it's the same like click and drag, same tools. You may find, generally speaking, that it's more granular because it's smaller paths, right? So just like place them down like this. Okay, so now we have a central park in between these two development areas. Okay, I'm gonna do a more of like, let's do this. Okay, so we created almost like a little garden park area. I'm glad it's actually the long way around as opposed to 2 squares on this side. Okay, one thing about the pathways, right, is you may notice if you drag them across a road, they will create crossings. So that can be useful sometimes. For example, if I want to do a crossing like this over to the main road. So there we go. Okay, yeah, I'm very, very glad that our shape was a long way around when I did that. Okay, but yes, so once we have that, I'm gonna place down some trees as well. So back in landscaping tools, vegetation, and trees. Okay, welcome back, Azzy. You lost your house. Rai destroyed it. She condemned it, no less. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, when we're placing down trees, right, there is one thing that I will like mention, which is that you may notice right now the tree is very small. You can actually go under age and and select different sizes of the trees, right? So just know that it's like when you click them, it's multiple of them. Okay, so for example, I'm gonna activate all 4 right now, which means okay, it's gonna cycle between a large tree, a large tree, a large tree again, a small tree. Like it becomes randomly generated based on how many of these age things you selected. Okay, so if say you only want the smallest tree, make sure that you have deselected everything except the sapling, and then it will only place the saplings. Okay, same thing if you want it to be all mature trees, I will make sure that only mature trees are selected before I start clicking. Because otherwise it's gonna like cycle between all of them. Okay? So if you missed that, let me know and then I'll just like try again. Explain again. And your neighbor was Sam and everything? Oh my gosh. Let's check in on Fletch the victim. Oh sorry, Fletch the bully. Fletch is content and idling. Sounds like a usual Fletch thing to do. Okay, but yes, so for this area, what I'm gonna do for a start, just to make life simple, I'm gonna do a young, let's say a young spruce tree. Okay, place down a few of these. And this is where sort of like herb landscaping and stuff comes in. Simple things will do for a start. Like, we're really just trying to understand how all the systems work, right? So don't worry about it being overly fancy. So just like some trees, we can do maybe a few flower bushes. Just like that. So you can see like, this is where I would say relative to SimCity, this wins in terms of the ability to detail to this extent. So we've got that. And then you could even put potted plants. You could put a small fountain if you'd like. I'm not going to for now. But we can put a Barbie, which is, according to Granny, the requirement to be an Aussie. We can put some deck chairs. Okay. Stuff like that. You can put a greenhouse. There's lots of things that you can actually put down for fun. So yeah. Fletch be fletching. Treesy's gonna head out and play some Dinkum. No worries, Treesy. Have fun. Thank you for dropping by. Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, so our lovely area has started developing. I'm actually going to place down a few more trees. Oh, we've got hammocks. Let's actually place them. Place this. Hi, Sean. No worries. Yeah, I think it's the server congestion. Like, we're gonna blame that completely now. It's not me anymore. It's definitely that. But it's okay. I think we should be okay. Oh, we've got swings and stuff. Yeah, so you can look through this menu and like see if you find anything interesting. Just place them down. We can place the swing set. Why not? And then I'm gonna place down some oak trees just to fill this space. Okay. Then maybe just a few different trees. So one thing that differs over vanilla and modded is that like you can't really overlap a lot of things, but with the modded one that I do, I can actually move things around after the fact and like overlap stuff. You love the decorating, and this is not a building game, it's a decorating game. Oh my gosh, it's an everything game, honestly. Like, you can do so much in this. Also, what has happened to our population? Why are we all dying? Okay, but yes, so just an example of how you can break up a like development area. I'm gonna also maybe start doing. Let's do some more commercial areas, and what I will do is actually start to experiment a bit with the parking roads. So over here, or actually maybe not the parking roads. Let's see. Okay, yeah, let's do a parking road. So, the parking roads are found under the small roads. Basically, this is another way of like ensuring that your city has enough space for people to park their cars. I haven't mentioned it up to this point, but in City Skylines 2, that is a factor in this game. They are looking for parking, and if you don't have enough, they will be creating lots of traffic jams. So, most roads have parking already built next to the thing. But just, if you want to do actual parking, I'm gonna do a 2-lane perpendicular parking road. And just, oh yes, okay, so right here's the replace tool. This like square arrow thing. If I click on this and then select a road, I can then like change it. Okay. So applying a few things we've already covered. You may notice I can't center it, so then we go into snapping, switch off snapping. And then I can align it like this. Ta-da! So now we've got a parking area in the city. There's sewage and water and power and trash collections and a cemetery. Up to this point, we only have electricity and water unlocked. We are closing in on leveling up, and then things will start to unlock. But I thought we'd go slow for a start, just so that we, you know, we can learn together, we can understand the systems. Yeah, so makes life slightly easier. Okay. Now, detailing tip for those of you who are like, this is not realistic, you wouldn't have a parking space immediately when you turn in. Okay, so here's how I get around this in this game, okay? So I place down whatever like parking road I want first, and then what we are essentially going to do is break it up so that we can change them to other roads, okay? So I will find, say like a node here, and then add just a temporary road like this, and maybe over here as well. Let's do here. Okay, so break it up. It looks like a mess, I know, but what we're gonna do now is oh, actually no, I can't do it now, unfortunately. We don't have, oh wait, can I? Oh, we can, sorry. Confusion. Now, I clicked on replace, and then I'm using a 2-lane normal road without parking. And then I'm going to go into here and actually replace the front and the end of this road. And when I delete my temporary road, we have created our smaller parking area. So in some areas, this actually makes it look more realistic. So you can experiment and try it like that to see where in your city that makes sense to have. Okay, so I'm gonna continue this over here. Road built. Okay. So far, we've got 2 little developments. I'm gonna actually start expanding this area. And if you find that you have dead ends in your like grid area that you don't want to intersect with the major roads, right? This is where roundabouts and cul-de-sacs come in. Okay, so roundabouts you use at an actual intersection. So there are a lot of different ones. You can just like click and try, hover over it, and then you just click down and it will create the roundabout. And then if you want to delete it, just press your bulldoze tool and get rid of it. Okay, so we've got that for roundabouts. So for example, if I place that, and then cul-de-sacs are for end of the road areas. So you can just do this, cul-de-sac with a tree, stuff like that. Okay. So although I think even with a cul-de-sac, you can actually like still connect them as though they're roundabouts. So I don't really know what the difference is, to be honest. But yeah, the option's there if you'd like to use that. Okay, so we're gonna create a bit more of a grid. How much was this? This was... Ooh, okay, so there we go. It's our first milestone, everyone. We have hit Tiny Village after almost 2 hours of playing. Oh my gosh, I don't normally play like this pace, so I'm actually kind of enjoying like rediscovering how it's actually supposed to be played. Congratulations, your efforts are bearing fruit and your city has taken its first steps towards success. So you get some money, you get some of these like interesting thingies which I'm about to explain. Okay, so if you've reached this point as well, if you click on progression panel, you may see now we have an entire timeline of like what you can unlock as you hit different levels in this game. Okay, so everything you do when it comes to building roads, keeping your citizens happy, getting people moving in, those will give you experience points, and then as you like level up, you will unlock more things. So our next level, Small Village, will allow us to have schools, which is interesting. What do we have as a like for here? Okay, so we've unlocked medium density housing. We've got more roads now. We've got healthcare, so we've got to place this down now. So we've got medical clinic, we've got cemetery, we've got garbage management. So now we have to actually start to like build all of this. Otherwise, our citizens will start complaining. Sean's off too. Take care, everyone. Thank you, Sean. Have a good rest of your evening. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the reason why I say if you're new to this, to pace yourself when it comes to developing and stuff, right, is that each time you unlock stuff, your citizens start to expect it. So... like, if you are finding it as a lot to take on already, don't, like, start unlocking things yet. So, for example, we have a small medical clinic that we can now place down somewhere. I'm going to place it, let's say here. Over here's fine, I guess. Okay, so now we have healthcare in the city. We also need death care, and unfortunately, the cemetery is humongous. So, I'm just going to place it, like, somewhere temporarily. I don't think this is going to be the final location. There we go, so a cemetery can go there. We also need to handle waste management now. So, if you've reached the waste management as well, this is a different feature that you will have to like figure out as well. So, this is one of those buildings that has a note system that creates, and let me show you what I mean, okay? So when I place down this building, click down, you may notice that my cursor is still stuck on something, okay? The fun thing about City Skylines 2 is that you can actually have a lot of granular control over like some of your buildings. So, we are essentially going to draw out the area of the landfill that will affect what is the capacity of this garbage system, okay? So for example, if I follow the perimeter of this building and like click here, we're gonna like extend it, and do we see how it's actually creating a square or like a rectangle? Click again. We'll do this. So there we go. Like, and you see how the storage capacity is adjusting based on how large this area is. That is essentially what you need to do when you have a building like this. Okay. So there we go. If I place it down, that's now an entire landfill. But it's the dead center of town. That's okay, because when you're first starting out your city, you don't really have much space to work with, and you don't want to build too many roads. So it's a temporary placement, and then as we, conveniently enough, unlock more map tiles. Misty, this is where, if you're wondering how to unlock stuff. Okay, so this is the map tile menu. As you level up, you will actually receive these. Like, you see this number 3? This is how many tiles we can actually now buy. Okay, so if I click on this, it will start to tell you like how much area is in it, how much you need, how many permits you need to use, and how much it costs. Okay, so if I click, say, these 3, and we purchase it, now our buildable area has expanded to include this area, right? And again, like, the maximum area is all of this. Hi Didi, welcome in, good morning, welcome to City Skylines 2 vanilla mode. We're running through because I think a lot of people have been curious about this game, but my way of playing it has been very modern and not reflective of how the game is actually like normally. Okay, so we have all of this now. Where's our sewage system? Okay. So now that we have more space, and based on, let me look at the water pollution again. Okay, so let's move a building, shall we? So mainly the sewage outlet. So if I click on the building, we have this grey, red, and arrow thingy that says relocate. If I click on that, I can now move it somewhere else. Okay. So for the time being, I'm going to place you here first. And then just like click, and then that's confirmed. And because it is a sewage outlet, I have to change like where the pipe is, right? So you may notice this, it says sewage pipe not connected. That's because our old pipe is still there. And then if I bulldoze, you may notice I can't actually see the pipe, right? So how am I going to bulldoze it? You may be wondering. So you can actually activate this, which is the underground view. So you either click on this like button over here, okay, or you do like page up, page down. Same thing. And now we can see that we have a pipe over here that we can destroy. So we'll just destroy it. Ta-da, goodbye. Okay, so then I'll go over to this newly located sewage outlet and connect the sewer pipe to this. Okay, so that's actually relocated it over to here. And eventually we'll move all of our like industrial... Actually, wait, wind direction... Actually, no, okay. Industrial can stay in this general direction for now, I guess. Okay. But yes, so now we've got the landfill, we've got the healthcare, we've got the death care, we've got garbage. That's all sorted. Okay, and then we can keep developing. We keep going. Right, so... let's do this. So far, if for those of you who are maybe not the most familiar with the game, like, does all of this kind of make sense? I know it's a lot of information, but what I'm hoping is that at least it kind of makes sense enough that, like, you now have a better sense of how the systems in this game work. Because up till now, I never really explained it to this extent when we did our normal, like, series, Monti-City series. So I'm actually gonna introduce... Actually, no, let's just keep doing parallel lines. This is meant to be a grid, after all. This is one thing that I found about the, like, when you do the zoning cells, is that depending on how you place down the roads, sometimes it does this. But yeah, I don't actually really know how to fix this. So like, if you find that it gets a bit annoying, just like delete the road, try again, and hopefully it helps. Oh wow, you don't have to draw them anymore? Oh yeah. So in this game, the roads have the pipes built in. You can still draw them separately. Makes sense, but it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. I was thinking through when I was planning for this stream, like, how to explain everything, because it's so much. Oh dear. It's making sense, but you'll definitely be replaying the stream several times. Oh yeah, definitely. And I will say, again, there is a tutorial in the game, and I'm pretty sure there are other YouTubers out there who are, like, 100% actually using their video to explain the game, so they'll be maybe easier to follow along. But yeah, okay, so... oh! We've got a new type of zone, by the way, so this is under residential. Do we see how our demand now has a darker green color? So that's because we have medium density housing. So as we keep developing and improving our city, more zones will start coming in. And this first one is actually a medium density row house. Okay, so let's place down, let's see. Let's try here. So I'm gonna place some of these. So, the intensity of these developments go up slightly, okay? So if you are, like, again, trying to grow your city and stuff, keep in mind that the larger the higher the density, the greater the influx of citizens suddenly, and it may strain your systems. Oh, okay. One thing I forgot to say as well. Hold on, I'm gonna drink some water. Okay, hopefully we're better now. When you are developing your cities, right, try not to develop too quickly as well, because when you first create a giant cluster of new development, right, people need to move in. So they will start driving in, taking the train, whatever it is, right? And so you will suddenly have a huge influx of, like, people moving in, right? So case in point, right now, you may notice, like, our city has literally no traffic, like, no cars are moving around and stuff, right? What I'm gonna do now is come over here and develop. Okay, we'll just put all of it for now. I might remove it after this, but so let's say we're gonna create all of this now, right? So watch this road as I do it on fast forward, okay? So you are going to introduce a huge temporary influx of traffic into your city when everyone has made it to, like, your square. Okay, so some of it's coming in now. We've got, these were the row house people, they are starting to move in. And then shortly after this, you're gonna notice more people coming in. Okay, hi Kanashi, good morning, welcome to City Skylines 2. Welcome to people moving into the city. Okay, why this is important as to don't create a huge influx, right, is that you may be creating a false positive of traffic issues in your city. Because you may start to look at your junctions and be like, oh no, there is so much traffic everywhere, I need to, like, completely scratch my entire city. And these sort of traffic situations are usually only created because it's a temporary influx of new residents. Once they have moved in, that influx disappears. So try and spread out the development of your new zones so that you manage this, like, traffic situation. Because otherwise you have to create way too large of a road for these, like, temporary issues. So yeah. So have y'all all moved in? Thankfully these are still low density development, so it's not that bad, but once you hit, like, high density skyscrapers, that traffic issue is gonna, like, multiply a lot. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So we've got another housing area settled. Yeah, we're just constantly getting demand for housing at the moment, which is a good problem to have. So I'm gonna do over here, and then let's, like, turn it this way. Okay. Also, let's check in on Fletch. Something has happened with Fletch. I think Fletch died. What happened with Fletch? Oh my gosh, I think Fletch actually died. Fletch either died or moved out. Oh dear. Okay. You got to small village? Lovely. Okay, so you're the next level after us. So actually, at this point, what I'm gonna do is, like, kind of, because it's, at this point it's simpler. Like, it's really just to create, like, more development. So I'm gonna just very quickly start developing some houses. We can do, like, some more row houses in this direction. There we go. So all of this, let it build. Right. So you didn't spread it out? Oh my gosh. Okay, and then we do seem to have demand for commercial still. So I'm gonna do this area, let's say. Bite your tongue. We do know that James's original plan was to kill Fletch off, right? What a shame that he never followed through on that. Okay, let's replace Fletch. Okay, this one looks like Fletch, I guess. Fletch the Bully the second. Okay, so we're gonna follow this citizen. She works at... Oh, a food shop. Spuds. Spuds? Oh, literally, oh, Spuds, literally Spuds. Look at the logo of it. Oh my gosh, okay. So that's where she works now. Okay. I'm actually gonna speed my simulation up a bit now because now that we've gotten to generally setting up our space, we're okay. Like, the rest of it's kind of repeating for most of it. Okay, so I'm gonna expand, like, let that area develop a bit. We can see some traffic coming in. I'm gonna continue on over here. Let's say here. Okay, and then let's just like do this. So this side, it's a bit of the curvier sort of situation going in. Oh, interesting shape that we ended up with. Okay, and then I'm just gonna... Oh, see what I mean? Like, look at all the traffic that suddenly piles up. And if you're not familiar with why this is happening, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I have so much traffic jams. Don't worry, this is a natural, just moving in phase of life, if you will. Okay, you get Rice Sister to write a strongly worded email. Why Rice Sister specifically? Was it a certain thing that I forgot? Okay, let's place down more houses here. More houses here. Right, and I'm actually going to, I think, reserve this area. Okay, so we're placing more custom parks. I'm gonna reserve this area as a little green space in our suburb. Okay, so a nice little park, actually quite a big park. This area can just be all like green space. Right, and then let's do low density business. So I'm going to swap the tools now so you can see the difference. Fill tool is just clicking, right? So I'm just going to click like this. Okay, so more shops are opening in this area. And more housing can go here. Okay, so we'll let that develop a bit. Let people move in. I need experience, please. Still like 600 to go. Okay, while we're waiting for this, as we are doing like our little progression stuff, right? One thing to mention as well, where was it? Is it here? Development? Okay, so each time you level up, you're gonna get development points, right? So, right in case you haven't like explored this side, right? So these are sort of subsections of all of the different toolbar things that we've gotten that allow you to unlock additional features. Okay, so you've got roads, you've got electricity. This one's really a choose your own adventure sort of situation as to what you want to upgrade. We've got 5 to work with right now. The one that I always like getting for a start is advanced road services. So if I unlock advanced road services here, I'll do this, right? Okay, now in our road tools, there is this last tab here. Okay, if I click on it, also it's nighttime, look at that. That will allow us to change things like traffic lights. So I can right click to remove traffic lights from this intersection. I can left click to allow them to come back. Same thing for crosswalks. I can right click to remove crosswalks specifically from each intersection. Left click brings them back. I can turn the parking area of a road into, if I click on this, a sidewalk. So if I left click on the sidewalk thing, it turns it into a wider pavement. Right click removes it. So same concept. It's like left click to add things, right click remove stuff. You can add grass. You can add trees. All of these things. So I always like to unlock this first because it gives you a lot more granular control over your roads, especially the key roads that you don't want people parking on. So for example, we have this main road that came from the highway, right? I don't want people parking there. So what I always do is I will just like either put a sidewalk or grass or something. So like, let's do grass, right? Across the entire thing. Unfortunately, yes, you do need to like do it one by one. You can click and drag, but there is no like shift click to apply to everything. This is one of the best things that was added to City Skylines 2. Previously, it was based on the type of road you place down, like whether there are trees and stuff. So, I'm gonna place down some trees as well. And there we go. So now, our main entrance to the city has grass and trees. And, okay, while you are figuring all of this out, right, in case you're playing along, I'll give you some time to like play around with that. But there is a little trick that you can do in case you find that these trees are really ugly. By the way, on the subject of trees grow in this game. So you may notice right now the trees are like really small. Over time, they actually start to grow. So it will take a very long time, but you will get grown trees eventually. So celebrations. Earth is healing. Nature is healing. All of those things. Okay. So I'm just gonna go around on my key roads and start to place down these extra road features and stuff. Okay, just to stop people from parking at the wrong places. And then while we're on the subject of this newly unlocked area, right, one thing you do need to now place down is a road maintenance depot. Okay, so this will basically send out vehicles to like make sure your roads are still in good condition. They tend to be annoying. Let me place this down so that I can explain what I mean. Okay, send out the vehicles. Now, they tend to be annoying because... can we send out some vehicles, please? Okay, I guess they're not sending any out, but... They're annoying because they actually run very slowly, and they tend to block roads. So it's like, they'll keep starting and stopping and starting and stopping. And... like, you can't really do much to make traffic go around it, which is kind of annoying. So keep that in mind if your city is mainly one-lane roads. The computer is not that smart to actually know what to do with that when it happens. I'll show you when it happens. But that brings in the layer of, if we open our info view and I click on roads, okay, so this actually shows, if I disable everything else, right, road conditions on the road. So at the moment, as you can see, like the whole city is fine because it's all green. But once you have this mechanic in the game, right, over time, if your vehicle doesn't go around and fix it, it will slowly turn red. And as it turns red, I don't really think you'll get much visual impact when it comes to broken roads. So like potholes won't really show, Misty, but there are road accidents in this game. And the worser your road conditions are, the more likely your cars are going to have a road accident. So, yeah, we'll hopefully observe one. Oh, do we have one going? There we go. This is the vehicle that will go around. So you can see, it will keep starting and stopping and starting and stopping. And it will just like rove around the city. Hello, Wooden Rose. Welcome in. Good evening. Good evening. We're just watching our roads be repaired. Okay, so yeah, it literally just does that the entire time. Okay. So we'll let that do its thing. While we develop. We're almost at level 2. So I'm just gonna keep going here. Oh, actually, okay. So I'm gonna do some slight modifications to my area now. Which is that we have unlocked the 6-lane road, which I'm now going to apply to... Okay, we need to like fix that a bit. I'm now going to apply to our first road that enters the city. So if you find that it's doing this whole situation where it's not letting you click, don't worry, just pause the whole game, delete certain sections like this, and then try and draw the road again. Sometimes the game, because of how complex the node system is in this game, it tends to do that. A bit. So again, because it's not snapping properly, I'm going to switch off snapping and do this. Okay, place my grass back and place my trees. So there we go. So now our key road here is a higher capacity road. Gonna change all of these accordingly so that we're set up for success. So same for here. Okay, and then you may see as well again the pathways in the way. So you can just remove the pathway for now. Change this. Okay. You love upgrading roads. Misty, I feel like you will love this game based on like how you're reacting to everything at the moment. Okay, we're placing back the pathways. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Ta-da! Right. So in both directions. Oh, actually, we have some here that we can do as well. All the way, all of the roads. So again, this, in a sense, it's really like the future-proofing of the roads. Like, I'm already developing the key road, like, avenues that will serve the entire city, right? I'm expecting that these will be high capacity. That's why I'm already increasing them. As you have created your layout, you will probably naturally find certain roads that serve this purpose better. So it's almost like these large roads are actually going across from like different areas, and then the smaller roads actually just serve like this small chunk of area. Okay, so just keep going. There you go. Thank you for the shout out. Okay, so there we go. All of this road done. And now that we've covered all of that, I'm just gonna very quickly do more developing. Right.
What kind of future does music have if it doesn't look to its past? Well, I say the question speaks for itself. Here on Second Moon, we know you can't move forward unless you keep both eyes steadily trained on what's behind you.
Yeah, that's an ad break. Oh, yep, okay.
Prices in the area.
That's right, Glenda. But apparently that's not all good news. We're joined today by an expert guest, Professor Nutbutter.
Welcome, Professor. So a housing shortage is bad for the people trying to move here, right?
Humans are programmed to desire certain representations within ideological reward structures, which are entirely apart from the actual rewards enjoyed. For example, consider capital.
One final question, Professor. Is the housing shortage going to make me richer?
By certain metrics, perhaps yes, in the short term.
I like the sound of that.
But what we are discussing is the study of a statistical abstraction and its effect on the human
Thank you, Professor.
It is a question of priorities.
Yeah, so that's the sort of thing you're gonna get on public radio in this city. By the way, if you're playing along and you hear stuff on the radio being like, oh, there is a road accident and stuff, don't take that seriously. That's not actually based on what's happening in your city. That's just the radio playing. So like, don't use the radio as a gauge of what's happening in your city. It's just like they're trying to be funny. And it gets very repetitive, so you can enjoy it for like maybe the first few hours of playing the game, but after a while you will want to turn it off. So, just letting you know in advance. Okay, but yeah, so we continue. Right, so I've got another development area. I decided to square it out a bit because I felt like it wasn't really giving us much space to work with. Okay, medium density, and actually, what we could do over here is this area can now have some shops as well, maybe? No, maybe let's do... Sam's moving out of the town. Moving out of the town. How's our Fletch doing? Our Fletch is... Yeah, not much is happening in the life, actually. What is that ad? It's part of the radio station. So it's like the music selection in City Skylines. There's a few to choose from. And I'm playing the like public radio station. So, like other than Like, other than the music, which I think this station's quite a nice vibe to go with, it does that too. So, yeah. Is this because Ezzy's house is destroyed? She's literally hitchhiking out. Oh my gosh. Sam's done. She needs her bees, and your city wasn't providing it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Come on, city! Give me experience points. I want to level up, please. Okay, well, let's just place more roads here, I guess. That might help. And then, because that's a highway, this is probably going to be a temporary area. But I'm just going to place down some trees so that we block the highway a bit for these poor residents. Oh dear. Okay. You meant the radio in the city. Oh yes, the radio in the city, sorry. Everything is based on the game, by the way, not like real life. Okay, come on, we're so close. We are at like, we're 40 experience points away. 35 experience points away? Okay. Also, it's nighttime. How do we find this on stream? Like, are we okay to have the night visuals on? Or is this tricky to see? Okay, and our population's moving in. Gonna go here. Okay, and shape-wise, when it comes to, ooh, small village. Okay, you are moving ahead very nicely, thank you. So we've got more things that we can unlock now. If we go to the progression panel, what did we unlock? Let's see. So we've got more medium density housing. These ones are actually more like actual blocks rather than the row housing. We've got schools! Schools out, everyone. So, okay. Let me show you what the medium density looks like. I was actually saving some of this for this area. Okay, so let me place down like a few of these blocks. Just so that we have a bit more of a dense development here. Okay, so you can see straight away, the sizes of them are a lot larger. While that is developing, I'm going to place our first school. Which, for a small elementary school, I'm just going to place it here for now. Here we go. Okay, so there we go. And then we'll let this area develop first, and we'll see. Thank you, Misty. It's good? Okay, lovely. So if at any point it gets annoying, let us know. Hello to Swagger, welcome in. Would you all recommend sticking or playing City Skylines 1 or City Skylines 2? I heard City Skylines 2 at a Rocky launch. Oh, it really did. And it was so, like, it was such a shame because I feel like their pre-launch trailers were so good. A lot of the performance issues that people were concerned about have been, I would say, generally rectified. But the game's development has been moving very slowly in terms of custom assets. If that is something that you particularly care about in this game, it's not ready yet. So that's what I will say. Yeah, so for me, I've really been enjoying City Skylines 2. There are, like, the mods are not stable, I will say. But I'm willing to put through and like live with all of that. Right now, we are exploring vanilla, and I think vanilla itself is okay. Like, it's pretty stable. Like, I like the very foundational features that the game has included as of right now. So it's still, like, for me, very enjoyable. But I understand everyone's concerns. So, yeah. Do you play with mods, Swigger? Swigger? Swig? Like, it depends. If you play with mods and you want a more stable experience, I would say City Skylines is, like, 1 is better. But yeah. Okay, so there we go. Right, what did you do to Sam? Okay, come on, buildings, build. I want to show what the medium density buildings look like. Ooh, it's midnight. Okay, midnight in game. In case in case AJ starts doing the whole like midnight in real life. It's 8 PM in real life right now. Thank you for everyone who's sticking around, by the way. Like, Much slower pace than normal, I feel, versus how we would normally play, but I think this is a lot more approachable as well. Oh my gosh, we had like 660 people already. Are we almost done, buildings? Come on. Also, look at the traffic. The traffic's building up. Come on, everyone. Complete your build. Oh my gosh, this is like real life. Okay, there we go. So, medium density buildings, or at least residential, are like this size. Okay, so if you're looking at different types of areas for your buildings, that's roughly what you can expect. Are the other ones gonna develop? Come on, develop. It's so slow. Come on, 98, 98, 99, 100. Okay, there we go. That's another one. Oh, very lovely kind of area. Okay, and for this area, once it's actually all developed, what I'm gonna do is connect it with pathways. Again, detailing makes it look more like an integrated development and area. Gina, hello, welcome in. It's 7 AM. Oh my gosh, it's so early. Also, Granny as well. Hello, welcome in. Look, Granny, it's Vanilla City Skylines. See how you like it if it's something you'd be interested in playing. So far, we are at level 2 of building. Okay, so only use the essential mods like in City Skylines 1, like Traffic Manager, Move It. Okay, so for City Skylines 2, there are already mods that basically replace Move It and Traffic Manager. Move It's literally called the same thing in City Skylines 2. So if you are playing that sort of light modded mode, honestly, the game's perfectly fine. It's just that maybe in terms of actual custom, like variety of buildings and stuff at the moment, it's not as like varied as City Skylines 1. But there is also these region packs that... Hold up, let's save. I realized we haven't saved this entire time. Punderland 1. Okay. Like, Paradox has actually released region packs that you can download to add to the game. And there are so many region packs. There's like French, UK, China, different parts of the US, Eastern Europe. So, honestly, that covers so much when it comes to this game that you should be fine for a while. So it would be worth trying. Just keep in mind, this game is a lot larger file size wise, and relative to City Skylines 1, the price is also a lot higher. So, like, if that is also a concern for you, yeah, just keep that in mind. And if it's too much, wait for a sale. Okay, there we go. So, creating all of this. Rai, how's your city going along at the moment? Like, could we see a picture or something? Like, you can do the normal, it's F12. F12? F11, let's try. F12. F12 for a screenshot. And then if you'd like to share what you've worked on. Actually, you know what, instead of this area, I foresee potentially some parking issues. So I might want to... okay, actually, I'm gonna unlock more development stuff. Let's get parking areas. So we've got 10 development points. I'm taking it slow. Unlock. There we go. Parking areas. And here we go. Ready-made parking lots, everyone. What a concept. Snapping. Okay, what size can we go with here? Go with this. Okay. You don't want to see the monstrosity. No, the point of you playing today is to see the monstrosity. Are your roads behaving themselves? Very well, actually. So this is what we've done so far, Granny. With the vanilla road tools. By the way, for those of you who were here for the Saturday stream and you were seeing like the whole noodle exchange, thinking that's how you have to build in this game, you don't have to. So if you've reached the point of this, which is the intersections, it's a bit small of a thumbnail, but there are pre-made ones. So you don't have to do what I did on Saturday. Okay, just FYI. Okay. Yeah, Montai is just a really bad way of like first impression of this game if you're thinking of doing it yourself. That's not how you should play it for a start. Oh dear, okay. But it's so cool because that series almost tests the potential of the game. Whereas now, this like potential series is more like a... This is what we can do without like adding anything to the game. Okay, so we're just gonna detail some trees and stuff. Hickory, there's not much space to actually put all of this. So far Granny, Misty is converted. Like she might consider trying this game. Rye's actively giving it a go right now. Like as we are playing together, she's trying it. So I think so far, this series is doing a better job at showcasing the game for normal people. There we go, like a simple, clean area. And you'll notice right now as well, I've not like even thought about public transport stuff once. It is something that you can eventually integrate into your cities regardless. And anyway, it's not like unlocked. But yeah, so you can see even without public transport, like there's a lot of things that you can be thinking of and working on in this area. Okay, so our medium density looks good. There's like a nice little green space. It looks kind of like well integrated as opposed to just 3 buildings in the middle of nowhere. So all this done with vanilla.
You're listening to Second
Oh, here comes
Moon,
another ad.
epitome of classical listening at home or wherever you roam.
A housing shortage is
Oh my god,
driving
the
up
same ad.
prices
Okay, we're
in the
skipping this
area.
one. Yeah, it gets a bit repetitive, unfortunately. But yeah, so there we go. My green space for now is just gonna get more trees, I think. That should be enough. Misty already bought it and we'll be playing it later. Oh my gosh, exciting times. I really hope you enjoy it. Like, this game series has brought so much, like, joy to me over the last 10 years. Like, it just does something. Like, I will spend hours in this game. Can you put 2 parking lots back to back? There are ways to do it technically. So for example, okay, you have to be selective as to which one, I think. I haven't really tried most of these, but there are a lot of different ones. Oh, maybe not in vanilla, unfortunately. Snapping? Yeah, no, because you need it to be near enough to the road. Oh, she sent it. Okay, here we go. That's not that bad. Hold up, let's do. And now she's gonna be like, oh, not that bad means it's actually bad. Let's. Hold up, how do I open here? Okay, so everyone, this is a first timers first build. I love this curve area actually. It looks like a British town almost, like this area. I like this area. That looks good. I worry that, is this all commercial? Because I worry that this is quite a large area to be having commercial like this. But you can see based on traffic, like as long as your traffic's not building up, it should be okay. Oh, she sent it to me like personally. You're typing that actually. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, so far, traffic seems okay. I think your map has a bit of a, like, there is definitely more terrain on your map. So because I see the roads are bumpy, but again, this is vanilla, so you can't really do much about it. Like, it's not easy to fix. That's looking good, that's looking good. Well done. It's so nice to see everyone playing City Skylines 2. Which area of the map are you working on? Like, is it the same area? Let's take a look. Oh no, it's flat. Okay, well, I don't know why it's doing that then, it's fine. You got 10,000 parks on one side and then you can just walk to the other side. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Right, so I've got demand for everything right now, actually. So I can actually just keep developing. Maybe, let's start. We've got this whole area that we can do. So let's maybe create some stuff here. Let's do... Oh, she's got another one. Okay, okay. So, this is the same map. I'm gonna get it the same angle. Right, let me save this as an image. Downloads. Okay. Nah, switch this on. Okay, so, same map, different execution. So, there we go. Bottom left is Rise map. And then right is what I'm currently working on. So you can see, like, with the same map, you can actually end up with lots of different variations. And there is no right or wrong way to build, by the way. Like, if we look at cities across the world, there are so many different variations and solutions that people are trying to, like, create the best city. So, like, try grids, try curves, try, like, lots of different roundabouts and stuff. And then see which one works for your needs. Like, this time around, we're building more suburbs and stuff. But whereas in, like, Montai, it was more, like, you know, Asian-style congregated development. So yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go in this direction now. Road build. Okay, and then let's do our arc concept again. So again, building option that you can do is create your giant arc first. Let's do 200 by... Let's do a slightly off angle one this time. 150. 150, here we go. And then delete most of it. And then continue a straight line through it. There we go. Oh, wait. Okay, so stuff like this is something you need to keep in mind. If you don't connect your nodes properly, it's gonna look like that. Okay, so if you find that it's doing that, just delete it and build it again. Otherwise, it's gonna be really ugly. Can you build a castle in this game? You can. Well, I mean, it's not really much building. It's more like placing it down. Let me find it. Where are the landmarks? Signature buildings, mixed residential. I don't know whether it is unlockable. Or maybe it's not in the vanilla game. Well, there is debris. You can create your own, like, castle of trash, maybe. You thought the City Skylines 2 was bad because of the mixed reviews. It's a tricky one because I would say a lot of the critique that has come for this game comes from people who are already experts at playing it. And people who have taken full advantage of how the previous game was, like, fully moddable and stuff. People are very disappointed with the fact that it's been almost 2 years since the game is out, and like, you can't actually create your own custom buildings for it yet. They are disappointed with how the company has handled communications ever since they received criticism about the performance things and how console was, like, indefinitely delayed. But what I will say is that I felt their lead up to the launch, to me, was done very well in terms of the trailers explaining all the different aspects of things. And the actual things you get in the game, in terms of the foundational features, I do feel are very good. So, like, when you take it in that context, like, I understand why everyone was so upset and why on Steam it has that kind of review. But I feel like if really all you want to play is a city builder and you don't care about all those things like mods and whether or not it's coming out for console, you can get a very enjoyable experience playing this game, I feel. And the graphics are so much better than the first one, honestly. So there is that as well. Okay, hold up. This is actually quite a big area. I might use a 4-lane road for this area. Oh, actually, okay, and we have more types of roads now. So we've got the 4-lane roads that have the dividers. Okay, so versus what we've been using up to this point, right? Here we go, here's a comparison. So we notice how there's like a median in the middle. So this is actually also upgradable. So you can put grass in the middle instead if you don't want it on the sides, and your trees can be in the middle like this. So that's just another variation that is now unlocked because we leveled up. So just in case, once again, you've never played this game yourself, that's the sort of stuff you can expect. Okay. Oh, sorry everyone, we are dropping frames. We are dropping frames. Hopefully we'll come back soon, but in the meantime, I'll just keep working on this area. Okay, so there we go, another kind of like medium road. And I will actually, let's see. This was a 2, okay. There you go. I think our internet has mostly stabilized now, so welcome back in case you lost us for a bit. Okay, it's sunrise, everyone. We'll be able to see things soon. Yeah, I have never built this slow in this game. Like, it's actually nice to take this, like, pace of building for once. Okay, so there we go. We've created another kind of district neighborhood area. I might have to get rid of Nom Soba Noodle because we are trying to build a road in this direction. And they are in the way, so I'm sorry, Nom Soba Noodle. I'm sure your noodles were much more organized than the ones I was trying to build a few days ago. So, sorry! It's gone. And in its place comes a replacement noodle shop. Okay. So, actually this is a good chance to show like how I would approach when you have, because now that we are creating larger spaces, right, you see how we've got this whole square to work with? I can actually show you how I would divide up the area. So I always start with these, like, the ring road, if you will, is always the higher density stuff that lets people transit across areas rather than within areas, right? Then when you start to build within, you start to create the key roads first. These are the ones that will actually matter. In this case, I'm using all small roads, but like you get the idea. If it's a bigger road, you can do like more lanes and stuff like that. So I start by dividing the key areas that I want. Let's say, like I don't want it to be overly curvy, I feel, just for efficiency's sake. Okay, I can't do let's do... Can the person that knocked into the connection please stop it because the frames are dropping? I think it's YouTube. We can only blame YouTube at this point. It's YouTube or my telco, based on our testing. It's not my computer, thankfully. But yeah, I don't really know what to do about it anymore, which is annoying. We never used to have this problem as well. Okay, so now our big square has been divided into 3 subzones, if you will. So, you can almost think of it as like within each subzone, I should ideally have some residential, some commercial, and then some amenities, right? So, for example, we work in here first, this first smaller square. Commercial would tend to be a bit noisier, so I like to keep it along the outer roads, if you will. You don't always have to. Let's say we do this first. Right, so we do this.
That was truly superfluous. Masterful counterpart. You're listening to Second Moon Radio, the station of levitated tastes. Don't touch that dial.
Levitated tastes.
A housing shortage.
Stop talking about the housing shortage. Oh my gosh, it's like real life. Okay. But yeah, so like I'm starting with the commercial in this area, and then let's say okay, I'm gonna do like a road here so that we love internet issues. How was the downstairs streams, by the way, Kanashi? I think I was lurking at one of them recently on the day I couldn't sleep. And it looked better, I will say. Didn't look as, like, choppy. As a SEM update, she's still hitchhiking over the way. Still, where's she going? How's Fletch? Fletch is sleeping. She's not doing anything in life. My gosh. Okay. Do you have to worry about which way the wind is blowing? Yes, and that is why, for this map, I have kept my industry here. Because our wind is blowing that way. So until I can upgrade my map further and like put it somewhere else, potentially here, it's the safest place to put it. let's say. And water-wise, our water is going in the opposite direction. Uh-oh. Maybe that's not the best idea to have put the sewers there, actually. Our water has changed direction. Hold up. Okay, yeah, no, that way. Okay. It's fine, we'll see it over time. But you can see like the first remnants of sewage pollution, right, that's happening. So this will eventually spread out. And once it's there, it takes forever for it to go away. So we've got that. We've got ground pollution that is slowly developing. Do we see like the yellow bits underneath? That's gonna be an issue as well. Wind pollution's a thing as well. Better build quicker. We will eventually, we will. Okay, so if I do, let's do a roundabout here, right? So there we go. Okay, that area is a bit weird, but we can now do some developments here, some development here. Okay, so we've got medium density. We're settling demand for that. We're gonna do row housing along here, switching tools to this area. So it appears that, okay, so you see how this is the first area where immediately after I place down the zones, nothing actually spawned. That means we have completely, like, alleviated demand for it. So you can still leave the zones here, but it's just that it will wait for there to actually be demand before it builds. So let's just leave that there for now. That's a medium density residential, and we will see what happens. Okay, but you can see we still need low density residential. So now, let me create some of that. Oh, actually, one of it started developing, so I guess that's fine. Okay, so yeah, that area generally we have like shops here, residential here, and what I'm gonna do is eventually we're gonna get offices, and that's why I'm leaving this area blank. Okay, so now, ooh, oh my gosh, yes! And thank you to Granny Does Games for allowing us to use that sound effect in our random catalog. It's way too soft though. It is not at the granny levels. Oh my gosh, amazing. It needs to be so much louder than that. Kanashi says better you managed to do Fall Guys and Fortnite as well, but back upstairs. Oh my gosh. Was it just cause like no one was home for that weekend or something? Oh my gosh. It is amazing, yes. This is so good. Oh my gosh. I love, like, everything about Granny streams. Just everything. I don't know, like... I think it's also perfect for the time of day that I wake up. Because it's the sort of vibe that I want first thing in the morning, you know? Okay, so there we go. We're creating actually even more subzones, which is kind of funny. Oh, our demand is actually reducing even before I've placed down any houses. Let's maybe... So I'm just gonna create a few more, and that's actually settled. Then, because our shops are here, right? We keep it going. Let's actually remove that. Sorry, abandoned house. Right, so example of how to destroy houses. Do we see we've got a condemned building? This is what Rai did to Azzy's house. So we just do the bulldozer, which is B, and delete. There we go. So in vanilla, the houses don't usually auto-delete themselves, so you have to like go in and do that. Okay, so I'm gonna do commercial here and here. Offices, we're gonna fill up the gaps. This middle area is gonna be a park. Let's just do the same thing, fill it with trees. Okay, and then you can even do like custom pathways if you really feel like doing this. Uh-oh, we dropped again, everyone. What fun. Babying the internet like this. Okay. So there you go, random park. Actually, let me do one more that's like a circle here. We've also crossed the 1,000 citizen number, everyone. Is your event journal doing anything? Not yet. Usually, the event journal is only for reporting car accidents and natural disasters. So because we don't have natural disasters, we're waiting for an accident, basically. Oh my god, there's so much traffic. That's not good. It's the morning rush hour, everyone. So, although everything's moving, so that's good. That's a t-shirt, don't delete yourself. Oh dear. Right, so we have our medium density has come up again. So I'm gonna go here. Alright, so 3 of these again. Then we can have, let's say, look at all the people just driving into this area. Right. So okay, I think that satisfies most, like, enough demand for now. Actually, no, our low residential that's gone up again. Again, reminder, you don't have to alleviate all demand. It's just that we know that we need to be developing our city in this case. So I'm just, like, allowing it to guide my development. There we go. Do you have to have residential mixed with office space, or can you have separate areas for those? Oh, you can definitely. So, it's a fully creative game. You can do whatever you want. So, for example, Rise 1, she's done like a full area that's all commercial. You can do that. So, it's just that for me, I like spreading it out like this because, from an urban planning point of view, like, you usually would want, like, people do not have to travel too far to get to the nearest shop. So I try and think of it in the hierarchy sense of, okay, small shops serve as the commercial area for a neighborhood, but you're also going to have larger big box stores that serve an entire community, that sort of thing. So far, we have all been building the neighborhood-based shops, but we haven't done like a area that's fully just commercial, which we could do actually. We still have demand for it. So maybe I can do that. Let's try. Let's do here. Okay, so an area over here within town. There's all just like, let's say it's a big box store area. So I would, again, same thing, leave enough room to the main connecting road so that like you don't create a pile up situation. Okay, so we've got that. I'm gonna make it turn a bit dramatically here. Go this way. And then connect up with the main road over here. Ta-da. And I know that looks weird for now. It's just that eventually we will extend it so that it doesn't do that. Like that. Okay. So, once you've done that, then we can actually extend, like, let's say here. And I'm gonna do like parking area here. So this one's a very, very random one, right? So just like all of this, and this whole area can be commercial. Right, so let's just create that zone for now. Let it develop. And then we shall see. That's because you don't live in country Australia. Oh, Australia and the US has this, like, the whole suburb problem. So, yeah, I happen to just not, like, build in it. Oh, Malaysia has that problem really big as well. Like, they'll create all sorts of roads that you can't cross over because there's no, like, pedestrian crossings and stuff. Or they'll have pedestrian bridges that just end in the middle of dirt, which is so weird. But yeah, I find when you play this sort of city builder game, usually you would you would build based off what's actually just directly around you, because that's what we're all used to, right? So, like, you're probably gonna build in a suburb style if you live in that sort of community. And then for me, it's like I'm more comfortable building in the Singaporean way of doing it, which is like 15-minute city everything, basically. Like, treating every neighborhood as a little mini town that has all services. So yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting to observe, and again, there's no wrong way to play this game. So it's just more of a, whatever you feel like building, build it, and then see how to diagnose issues and work around them. You know? Like here, I don't know what I'm doing here actually, but we're just gonna create a... Uh-oh, we've condemned everything. Not good. Okay, sorry everyone who just moved in. You're gonna have to move once again. Okay, so that area, I think, let's also leave it as like a... Oh,
listening to Second Moon, the station for the cultural sophisticate who doesn't fear extending their ears to the more challenging sphere of the classical genre. Let us move now from the musical page to the literary. Here we have some perfectly anguishing correspondence from a listener. My dear Professor Hornbuckle, whereas I make no apology for my erudite, modesty demands that I prevaricate against the title. I am but a humble devotee of the form, and all my expertise derives merely from a life devoted to the gentle arts. Though I do thank you for the honor. But I digest. To continue. Professor Hornbuckle, as a traveler from my homeland, I long to hear a tune that speaks to the anguish of my road-weary soul. There now, my good fellow, chin up, as it were. No need to wallow in sediment. Leave that to those poet chaps, eh? Here's a tune just for you, and I do hope it provides your aching spirit some modest desolation.
We've recently been having what some are calling the worst kind of luck there is. That's right. Today we are talking about the increased likelihood that you'll die.
That's not exactly what an increased death rate measures.
Either way, if everybody is dying, that gives me the creeps.
That's a wild overstatement. Are you trying to make people panic?
Did you say panic? She said panic. The death rate is skyrocketing. We've got to get out of here.
You go, I'll stay and clear up the mess. We'll be back after this. A housing shortage is driving...
It's the housing shortage again. Goodbye, goodbye. No housing. We can talk about dying, but not housing. Oh dear me. Are there zones for naming suburbs for transport? Wait, for transport. There are ways of... Hold up, sorry, bring it down. We have this areas thing. So if you've played City Skylines, you know how there was that brush that you can choose things? In here, it's actually... So we do... Oh, it's not available yet, but District Creation tool, and then you can like click the squares to create a zone. And then under that, you can have like specific policies and things. Does CS2 have pre-made packs? Not yet on the Steam page, but there are pre-made creator packs on the Paradox mod site that is officially from the developers. So that's the region packs, the ones that are like the French pack, the UK pack, all of those things. Those are safe to use. It's just that they did that as a workaround apparently because their DLCs themselves are not ready. I don't really understand it, but yeah. And those have so many interesting buildings. Okay, we have demand for medium again. So I'm actually gonna start building more medium. So, like this area can be all medium. Then we've got... let's see. Small can be here, I guess. Right. So that should alleviate most of it. And I think at this point, our industrial area is actually... We've not expanded it a single time since we started, so I think we should start putting more industry. So I'm gonna bring it... Ooh! Milestone 3, large village. Things are looking good. Let's see what we got. So we've got more progression stuff. We've got Fire and Rescue, Police and administration. Uh-oh, those things start to matter now. Okay, we'll continue our industry in a bit. Let's take a look. So we've got fire and rescue. We've got a firehouse. Where can we put it? Let's see. I'm gonna put you... let's put you here. Fire and rescue. Because I'm mindful that I don't want it to be too near someone's house. So they don't have to like listen to the blaring tones every day. So fire can be there. Police can be... Let's see. Small police station. Let's put it... Oh, where can I put it? Let's put it here. Okay. So we've got the services. That's dealt with. And then, as we were saying earlier, I might actually start to... Where was it? Let's unlock some more tiles, shall we? So I'm gonna go in this direction. So we've got 9 tiles that we can unlock. I'm actually gonna do... And the best part is you don't have to unlock in like a square. You can do a funny little like worm thing. I'm gonna actually unlock this like this. 8 of these. Because I want to put my industry here. Right, because, again... although the water is going that way. And there's groundwater there. Okay, it's okay. We'll leave that zone as a potential development site, but I'm not gonna actually put things there for now. But yeah, so for now, let's just temporarily build this zone for industry. And for industry, usually I don't pay as much attention to the visual, like, aesthetics of it. I'll just like... Because anyway, I'm gonna move. I'll just do this. Have at it, have fun. One thing that we do have now is specialized industry. So, new feature... Uh-oh, actually wait. Frame dropping, so I'm gonna wait a bit before we explain this. Let's stabilize a bit, I'm gonna drink some water. Okay. We've kind of stabilized. My voice is stabilized, everything is stabilized. Okay. New function in this game, everyone. So, specialized industry is actually like an additional layer of the yellow squares, which is the industry. So, if we click onto this, these are specific types of industry that you can zone and create that will create these resources for you. Okay, so we've got livestock farming, we've got grain farming, vegetable farming, all of these things. The reason why this matters is because if we go into this new menu called the city economy, let's say, and then we look at services and production, okay? So your city will always have, okay, not services and production, here we go. All of these things, okay? So we've got materials, which are like wood, grain, livestock. So you see now where this comes from? This is the specialized industry thing. The thing about your city is that you are never going to be able to make every single thing, but it's about balancing the surplus versus deficit for what your city needs, okay? So when your city doesn't have enough of something, it will import it from outside, which is generally more expensive. So if you depend on that too much, your citizens are going to complain about it. So ideally, where possible, you should create some of your own things. That's materials. Material goods over here is actually what your normal industry creates. Okay, so as you can see, because we've already created some general industry, we've got all of this in the surplus. We only need food that is coming from outside, and that's because we don't have carrots and livestock and stuff. Carrots, vegetables and stuff. And then we won't cover immaterial goods now, but just know that that's stuff that comes from your offices when we unlock them. So intangible stuff like software, telecoms, yeah, stuff like that. As well as retail stuff here. So we've got entertainment, meals. You don't have to focus too much on it. Just know that that's why we have specialized industry. Also, we've got issues. We don't have enough electricity. Okay, so let's place down... Oh, the wind actually dies down really quickly in this area. Okay, there we go. More electricity, please. There we go. Lovely. So, I'm gonna create my first specialized industry area. Let's take a look and see. Oh, sorry. Production. Okay. So we have the greatest deficit of grain, right? So let's maybe look and see whether we can do that. When you place down special industry, you do need to look at your natural resources section. So under info view, there is this leaf here called natural resources. If we click on it, you will see this new view. Oh, actually, this is one more thing we should have considered. Sorry, we should have brought this up at the start. As to where things go. Okay, so if I look at land fertility, okay, that's the one that affects grain production. And actually, oh, this area is perfect. Okay, yes, so the area I was gonna say as the industry happens to have fertile land. This will affect your like productivity of your industry stuff. So you want to build it on this. Your different specialized industries will have different requirements. Some of it needs fertile land, some of it needs wood and forestry, which are these like trees. Ore is another one, which is this color. And then we've got oil, which oh, it's actually the here. Okay. So yeah, all of these affect like whether or not you can actually get a good yield. Okay, so since this area happens to have a good fertile land, let's actually make the most of it. So, okay. So I'm going to start here and do this. I'm going to do just like a casual... Ooh, let's do our first bridge, everyone. Okay, so applying the principles of elevation. Right? So let's do this. And then if we page up, we're elevating our roads. Right? So... Right, so you can see underneath the 345 meters, like the distance of the road, do we see that 1.7%? The 1.7% is the elevation rate, right? So if I were to increase it, you can see it's become like 5%, 8%. So like, I don't really know what is the standard in real life, but try and keep it not too drastic, if you will. Okay, and as we're crossing the water area, you can actually switch to a 4-lane tied arch bridge if you'd like to create a nicer design. So if not, you can just use the normal road and that will still work. But if you want like a different design, do that. There we go. Was the oil on the island in the bay? Oh, well, I'll have to see. I didn't really pay attention to where the oil was in particular. Okay. So... Oh, actually, hold up. I don't like the curved version of the bridge. It doesn't look right. Because it looks so, like, squared off. You mean do math? No. It's just more like a good-to-know sort of thing. I can't do math. I think I'll have to use the bridge somewhere else because I don't... Like, when it does a curve, it doesn't really work as well. Okay, so... There we go. So we've got that bridge. And then over here, we are now in farmland territory. Right, so... I'm gonna start with some of this. And... Okay, so you can see here, right? Now, to understand this, we're gonna click grain farming. Place this down. Do we notice this circle over here? This is not actually the circle of life. This is actually the circle of placing down your zoning area. So what we did with the landfill is the same concept with the specialized industry, okay? So we're going to place the key building first. Place down the key building like this. And then you need to start doing your dragging and creating your space, okay? The reason why we have that circle there is that you can't do anything beyond the circle, okay? So that's just the maximum capacity that it can do, right? So I like to keep it as like a 90-degree thing, just to make it look nicer. And in this case, we'll just do this. So we've created our first specialized industry zone. Once again, this is a nice improvement from City Skylines 1, which never had a function like this. Okay, so we've got grain. I'm going to do 2 grain farms, let's say. Right, so... like this. And again, you don't have to use like all of the space that you're allowed to use. It's up to you whether you want to do it There we go. So we've got 2 bits of farm. Lovely. And fingers crossed, our production should start to go up. So now we have, there we go, 1.5 tons of grain produced a month. 2.4, we've now got a surplus. Lovely. Okay, and then once you have a surplus, you actually start to sell it outside. That starts to generate something for your economy as well. So there we go. Lots of grain that we created. We've got a good surplus now. And
Second Moon Radio with your host, J. Thomas Hornbuckle. Tune in tomorrow for a second chance to hear the music of yesteryear.
thank you.
A housing shortage is
It's the
driving
housing
prices.
shortage. Yeah, there we go. So that's a general idea of how the specialized industry works. Let's check in on what Ezzy was saying earlier. The ore in the... Oh, you're right actually, Ezzy. It's a oil deposit. Oh, but do I want to actually make that an industrial island? We have to, I guess. Do I need oil right now? Let's see. Oil is not currently in that much demand. I think if it starts going up some more, we can consider. But I kind of don't want to destroy the landscape for that, you know. Yes, okay, so we've got the farms, we've got the... Actually, while we have the farms here, maybe we can put some housing. Like, you know, just... Some people would want to live nearer to the industry areas, right? So we can have a little, like, country road. Take me home. Something something, West Virginia. Okay, and then we can just do... Oh, waterfront housing, why not? Just like 1, 2... Like just some houses, you know? Just so that people who live near it, like it's more convenient. Unfortunately, they have no shops, so that's fine. Meanwhile, in our more town city area, well, a commercial area has been going. I just realized that as well. Let us do that whole thing again of we don't want people parking on these roads. So I'm gonna do some of that. Click and drag to try and speed it up. There we go. Okay. But yeah, so far, ooh, we've got a traffic situation piling up. Our first kind of traffic jam situation. C. Okay, so this is our first example of potential road situations that you may encounter as you're building. Okay, so diagnosing this situation, let's observe what's happening here, okay? So it seems like the majority of people want to turn right? Because they're trying to get to this new area. I think these are the people moving in. So I would say it's a temporary issue. Why is there a pileup? Let's see. So, the number of lanes that are allowing people to turn right seems to only be 1. So, naturally, I can see why. Because you can see the amount of time that these people have to turn because of the crossing and the traffic light is not a lot. So that, therefore, is creating the pileup. You got a new... Which did you get? I haven't actually reached level 4, like, of vanilla in a while, so I don't remember what you get. Lovely, lovely. Okay, so, do I need to unlock... Oh, hold up. Do I need to unlock the larger roads? Yeah, I do. Okay, so let's use that. So, development points. Okay, so, just for, like... demonstration purposes, right? Here's how I would fix a pileup like this, okay? So right now, we've got a 3-lane road, right? So, oh, we've dropped again, so I'm just gonna hold my thought. Every time I want to explain something, we drop. Dropping. A pop musician's... Oh, the pop musician's house or something? Oh my gosh. Dropping. At some point, I should sue for this internet issue. Do you think that will get them to actually be stable? Okay, we've restabilized everyone. I think it was the threat to sue that got them. Okay, so... Right, so right now we've got 3 lanes, right? The 3-lane road, like 3x3 lane, only allows a left turning lane and a right turning lane. So, what we're gonna do to rectify this issue is I've unlocked more of the large roads under the progression area. And let's do a 8-lane divided road, which means in each direction we've got 4 lanes. Okay, so 4 by 4. If I do the replace tool to upgrade this, we'll see that now, when I place this down, we now have 2 turning right lanes. Okay, so let's just give it some time. And okay, well, I mean, there wasn't extra traffic to prove the point, but basically now we have double the capacity to turn right, which will fix the matter. Okay, so technically this area has the same problem. Eventually, we may have to consider doing this 4-lane thing for here if it continues to be a traffic issue. But that's an example of how you would diagnose and like fix a traffic issue. So play around with the different connections if you're running into a traffic issue, and then just observe how many lanes are allowed to, like, how many lanes are being used to solve the traffic direction you're trying to fix. If there's not enough lanes, then try and increase it. But don't go lane crazy. Sometimes it might be a sign that some other part of your network is not good enough. Because so for example, like here, the reason why this stretch is very crowded, relatively speaking, is because it is the only way to get to this area. Like, I've only provided one connection, which is this road, right? So, had I actually created another connection, maybe, let's say... Okay, if I keep this one going, right? If I did something that was more along here... And let me see. Let's make it go some more because we have another major road there. Okay, and then 6-lane road here. Okay. There we go. So, potentially speaking, now I've alleviated this being a bottleneck because now people have options. They can choose to go here. And as your city develops and like traffic starts coming in from every direction, having all of these extra like connectors will really help. Okay, so I'm gonna save as well. Pundland 1-1. There you go. Good night, Granny. Have a good sleep. I hope we are doing the Ale and Tail tomorrow. In which case, I look forward to it. Another stream of chaos. Oh my goodness. But in the meantime, yes, have a good sleep. Have a good stream deck time if that's where you're going to as well. Oh, I'm so excited for after stream to like set up that device thing that I have. Also, the whole thing of what I was saying about Dinkum is that, and again, this is completely experimental, so don't take this as like a word to be like, oh, I'm gonna buy this device now because he got it working, right? But I managed to get Dinkum running on this Android device, and it actually plays. And I'm so excited about the possibilities of that, like moving forward. Because it means that the hardware of this thing can actually like run the game properly. It's just the software needs work. Because I got to the sleeping bag, like I sat through Fletch just yapping and yapping and yapping. I placed down the base tent, I placed down like my tent, I did all of the chores that she wanted to. And then right as I was trying to place down the sleeping bag, because I wanted to save the island, because it was a nice island, the game crashed. So I lost the island unfortunately, but yeah. It shows the potential of what could be done. Like, for a device like this, so looking forward to seeing it. And honestly, part of me just wants to like tell James that's like, hi James, you don't know me, like, but like look at the what do you call it? Look at your hard work actually running on a device like this. It's amazing. Just so that he knows that it runs. Unfortunately, I'll have to jump through 1,000 Crafton hoops to get to him these days. Okay, I've ended up actually expanding my road network quite a bit, a lot more than I was planning to, for this little stretch. So let's just go along with it. Like, we'll just create more of these. Okay, There we go. You are a double road, right? Maybe that might have to become a triple road. This one might become a triple road. Or not. Or not. Maybe not. Okay, housing. Housing, let's get more housing. Okay, oh, this area is actually very... I might adjust this. That's too... It's too, like, crammed together for my liking. So let's remove this area. Uh-oh, we've condemned the building by mistake. Okay, so just remove all of this. Let it redevelop a bit. Did it crash because you're bad mouthing Fletch? Well, I was the entire time being like, come on, Fletch, get on with it. I think that's what happened. That's probably what caused it. But she does it to herself. Like, no one asked her to, you know? Ooh, I just heard a plane go by in the sky. Once again, in-game, not in real life. Okay, let's do... Oh. Do here. 90 degrees. There we go. Okay. So another little zone that we can do. This one we can do. It's like a... Yeah, that area can be a little park. So we'll have like the small houses here. This section can be just a park like this. And over here we can have... Let's observe what we have here. Let's do middle, like medium density row houses here. I think that would make sense. This section can all be like that. Right, so that alleviates the medium density stuff. DD was lurking for quite a while. Your city is growing. It is indeed. It is indeed. It's actually quite a huge area now. So we're taking it slow though, I will say. Like leaving lots of gaps. Because once we reach the point where we can place officers, I'm gonna like add them into this grid. So as of now, we're gonna let things develop a bit. Their happiness is increasing. Also, yeah, so this is what the happiness thing looks like. So if you hover over the bar at the bottom right, it will show you like walking distance to elementary schools.
To our power grid, the city will be experiencing rolling blackouts. We urge the public to remain calm during these breaks in service and to follow the guidelines on the city's website on how to plan for these temporary events. This has been a local public service announcement.
Has anyone seen my keys? My keys. What?
Weren't here? Sorry about that. It's, nothing important. I just lost my keys. I'm sure they'll turn up. They're for the brown sedan parked outside the radio station. Oh, wait. I probably shouldn't have said that if anyone finds them. Please, don't steal my car. I mean, the old Hornbuckle mobile, please. Oh, good. Here they are. Well, never mind then. Thank you for listening to Second Moon.
A housing shortage.
It's the housing shortage again! I swear that DJ sounds like Rai. Like that's the sort of commentary you'll get on her streams. It's like, oh, I lost this thing, but actually I found it. That is really smart to leave gaps. Yes, yeah, so I feel like that's very useful because, like if you're first playing this game, you may think like, oh, just fill everything, and then just like develop there. But if you do that right at the start, you actually leave no space to like further develop your areas. So yeah, like you can see right now, we've got traffic building up again. I'm trying to observe and see whether this is a actual long-term issue or it's the people moving in. Because I realize as well, like it's happening like this because our industry is here. People are going to their jobs. So yeah, I'm trying to see. Potentially, I might actually do, just so that it doesn't become an issue, 7-lane asymmetrical roads. Okay, so in this game, there are asymmetrical roads as well. They're kind of annoying to place down. So first thing what you need to do is observe which direction it's going to place down. In this case, we have it the correct way round, but sometimes it's the wrong way round. And unfortunately in City Skylines 2, there isn't a way to like reverse the road yet. You have to actually destroy the road and like place it down again. So, but for now, I'm just going to replace it. And now we have... Oh, it's still one turning lane, really. Okay, let's do it for here as well, I guess. There. Okay, so we have 2 turning lanes now. That should fix the problem, hopefully. Okay, you usually fill everything, you never thought about leaving gaps. Oh, okay, try it next time, Azzy, if you're gonna try this game. Or even with City Skylines 1. Like, and see if it helps. Okay. It's nighttime again, so it's a bit tricky to see what's happening. But yeah, I'm gonna take some time not building. I just want to observe the whole traffic situation. Another way to see this, if we go into info view, we click on the second item, the green car, the traffic. There we go, and this is a view that we can see as well. Okay, so there are 2 ways to view this information, okay? The default one it's going to show you is actually traffic flow. This is the green, yellow, red thing. Red does not necessarily mean that there's a jam. It just means that, like, things generally move slower in that area, okay? There is another way to look at this information, which is the traffic volume. Now, this tells you how much people use the road relative to, like, how well it flows, okay? So, as of right now, our most used road is this stretch. Like, the stretch that I said was lacking an alternative, right? So, a lot of people use this to get between our housing area and the rest of the town, the highway as well. So, it's interesting to observe. Surprisingly, a lot of people use this area. Don't see any cars actively using it, but good to know game, I guess. Yeah, but people are moving in. So once that crowd has kind of died down, it'll be easier to then see if there's any potential traffic issues. 2,403. Okay. Milestones and... Oh, by the way, for those of you who care about achievements and stuff, there is this thing in the game as well. My First City, The Inspector, Royal Flush. I wonder who that is. Okay, I'm actually gonna do more row houses here, I think. Makes sense. It looks like an area that would have row housing and stuff. We really don't need any commercial right now. I think we've placed too many in that zone. So it really is just a... like, housing's just in demand everywhere. Much like real life, I guess. So I'm gonna destroy some row houses, sorry, so that we can place down more. And these are gonna be all low-rise areas. Row housing, row housing. There we go. So, and in fact, I can keep this one going some more over here. Ta-da! Oh, actually, no, that was a useless one because it doesn't do anything. Just... I can put parking, I guess. Gina's gotta go. Thank you for the stream. No problem, Gina. Have a good rest of your day, and thank you for being here. Okay, placing some parking. Okay, so there are mechanics involved with the parking situation. I don't mean mechanics as in, like, the people who fix your cars, as in, like, there's a system for how parking works in this game. We won't cover it today, I think. Like, we've covered a lot today already, so I will touch on that next time when we are exploring it, or when we need it. But for now, just know that I'm placing down, like, parking lots there. Just cause why not? Okay, let this area develop, please. And, what I might do is actually... some commercial. Like, nothing's gonna develop in that commercial area for now, but when there is demand for it, it would make sense to have some shops in that area, I feel. Okay, our good old road maintenance vehicle, hard at work. Thankfully, not blocking anyone at the moment. Okay. So overall, how do we feel about this game? Seeing it how it's actually meant to be played without mods. Do we feel like it's kind of what we expected? Does it actually make you feel more hopeful as like, oh, okay, this looks like something I want to try now? Does it look too overwhelming? Like, I'm genuinely curious what people think because, oh, I've just destroyed all my buildings, sorry. Build again, build again. Like, I've enjoyed this kind of game for the longest time, but I always find that it's not a very common game that people I watch play, or at least not on stream and stuff. It's like I didn't know whether it was a very niche sort of game to be playing. But yeah, it's lovely that I get to like now actually play it in a way that is more kind of vanilla for with everyone. Okay. And you think watching me was a good idea? There are definitely things you like to do. Oh, as in like with your city already? Or do you mean like, I wish the game was like this? Something, something. Like, I will say if it's with the city, every city will have that. It's like a... With what I'm building as well, I'm probably making a mistake somewhere that I don't realize that I can't like fix in the future. But it's like, that's just the part and parcel of city development. Even the real life city planners, like, they all encounter that. So, you know, it's just something we have to embrace. Now that you've seen it, looks like something you'll get in the future. You thought it was wasn't worth playing because of all the bad reputation. Yeah, this game doesn't have the best reputation, unfortunately, which is a shame. It's a bit like Sims, where the moment you if you're in the community and stuff, the moment you talk about it, people will just automatically jump to the, oh, it's all bad, it's all disaster, like this company is going bust and stuff. But it's like, I found so much joy from playing it in the state it's currently in. I feel like there's still a lot to do. I haven't gotten bored of it, and I think that's all that matters, right? Like, when you're playing a game, is that up to a certain point, like, if you're familiar with the game and you know what to expect, just play it because you enjoy it, not because the community says XYZ, you know? Although I get in, like, your context, as it's different because you're trying to make a purchasing decision, so that's trickier when you've not had, like, the context of why maybe those things are negative. But hopefully now that you're seeing it, like, just run as an actual game, it's a better basis for you to make that decision. You really like what they changed and can't wait for it to be 90% off. Oh, I don't know if it's gonna be 90% off for quite a while. Oh, Grand Village! Congratulations, this city is coming along nicely. Okay, do we have officers? We have officers, we have low rent housing, we've got natural disasters. Okay, no. Oh, do we have we've got bus lines. We've got buses, we've got parks. Okay, so Grand Village unlocks so many things. Lovely. Okay, so now I'm not going to touch the public transport for this episode, but what I do want to do is now go in and fill up our office spaces. So that's what I've been leaving spaces for. Let's go in and develop some of this. So officers can go there, and officers, right, in terms of industrial and officers, they kind of complement each other. So think of industrial as creating things like those, let's go back here. Industrial is workspaces that would create and produce material goods. Okay, it's all of this thing. Officers are workspaces that create immaterial goods, like software, telecoms, finances, media, and stuff like that. Generally speaking, the balance would be that more educated citizens will work at offices than industrial. So when you're thinking of how much, like, how many people are educated in your city versus uneducated and stuff like that, that's what's gonna affect the balance of it. So don't overbuild either of the things, because you will have an issue where there's like not enough people to fill a specific level of work. Which you may run into if you purely follow the demand bars down here. So, okay. Let's see. Officers here. Where else did we have? The original area. Here, I was reserving you. Wait, no, you were supposed to be a park. I think it was here, actually. This area. Okay, go for it. Build your officers. What if the community says ABC? Well, then they might be a member of the Jackson 5, unfortunately. In which case, I don't really know what to do with that. I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't moonwalk. Katy Perry can though. Oh no, actually no, she didn't moonwalk, she was just in space. My gosh. Interesting things that happen in life sometimes. Right, so let's allow the officers to develop and then we'll see what it does. Our demand for the officers actually already fell off completely. So that's kind of funny. While that's going, while we wait for the sun to rise, I'm going to place down more
Second Moon
trees.
Radio with your host, J. Thomas Hornbuckle. Tune in tomorrow for a second chance to hear the music of yesteryear.
A housing shortage is
I've
driving up
been giving you so many houses!
But,
Next. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm building houses! Give me time. Now I know what the housing minister in Singapore feels like. Like, he's getting so much flack because he seems like he's not doing anything. Sorry, not getting into politics, but like the election's coming in like 2 weeks. They literally just announced it right before my stream. So why not just bring it up right now, right? Watch the internet all collapse, being like, oh no, insults. Okay, where did that rent come from? Where did that rent come from, I wonder? Okay. I like this little park actually, it's just like a random bit of space. Oh, and the best part is, okay, actually, you know what? We have actual park stuff now. We can place... Okay, first of all, we can place a playground. Not just a playground, a playground. Over here. We can place a... where's the basketball court? Oh, that one's not available yet. That's a sports park. Okay, so let's unlock that. We've got enough progression thingies. Development. Parks and recreation. Oh, park maintenance, really. Okay, let's just unlock that. That's fine. Sports parks. Okay. I do need to place down the maintenance stuff. Let's see if we remember it next time. Tennis court, basketball court. Here we go, here we go. Ta-da! See, now we've got features in our park. Amazing! Amazing, amazing. Okay, I'm gonna place this somewhat like this. And then... Right, how particular are they about overlapping stuff here? See, this... Once you start reaching this kind of level of the game, you start to be like, okay, I actually have the freedom to now develop and detail in a way that's quite enjoyable. If you like this kind of thing, obviously, like, if not, just ignore what we're doing. Just build, like, play and enjoy the aspects of the game that you like. If you're trying this game yourself, like, you don't have to build it or play it the way that other people or people on YouTube do. There you go. See a little, like, hedged off area. Hedged off area. There we go. And then, because this is a park, where were our chairs and things? Oh my gosh, swings, playgrounds and stuff. Chairs. Here we go, chairs. Right, so we've got... Oh, we've got vending machines, of course, yes, at a basketball court area. I think I can place it maybe here. Let's do this. 2 vending machines. Oh my gosh, what's that? Right, we've got a newspaper vending machine. Why not? And then we can do like just picnic tables over here. So let's say people... Oh, we've got a homeless issue. Okay, so the fun thing about this game, not to say that homelessness is fun, but in terms of visual indicators that the game provides you, right, there's actually lots of ways to tell whether your city is doing okay. For example, when it comes to homelessness, if you are having an issue where... Let's actually see if there's a way to see this. Homeless. Okay, so we've got 2 homeless people in our city right now. And that is why they've actually set up shop in our basketball court area. So it means that there are not enough houses, or they can't afford houses that are available in our city right now. Okay, so surfaces. Oh, this is default in the game? Oh, this opens up so many things. Okay, so this is a surface thing. If I do this... So remember we did this in Montai? Oh, okay, it's horrible, but still. Oh. Rai is going to bed. Good night, Rai. Thank you for trying this game together with me. I hope you are enjoying it. Hopefully it's not too much to take on. There we go. Ta-da! And we look forward to your next stream, where there will be even more update prep, I believe. We're up to that thumbnail, right? 4, 5. Okay, and then just placing down. Ooh, that's a big tree. I can't actually place that one down. Smaller trees? Oh, why are they all suddenly huge? Was the area just small? Look at that, what fun! There's like so much detailing and stuff. Okay, what were we supposed to fix? We were supposed to fix homelessness. Okay, so that brings us to the newest category that we have. Low rent housing. So this is something that you want to place down in your city as well. Because that will actually give people another type of housing that they can live in. I'm not too fussed about where I usually put it, so I just like integrate it into our development areas. So I'm going to put it there. And then we'll see what happens. Okay, and then while we are doing this, we're gonna create that so that pedestrians have options of how to walk. So, see, this is another little tip that I do. It's like, because I'm not connecting my roads at every junction, right? You need pedestrians to be able to connect, like, easily. So that's where pathways come in. Like, so try and remember to do this every so often so that your, like, residents have ways to connect. Like, when it comes to actually placing down bus stops and stuff, that's very important. Ooh, okay, we have a traffic jam in this area. Our first one. So diagnosing the issue, it once again, so you'll get indicators like this if it's a genuine traffic jam, right? So it'll say like, oh, traffic jam, the flow of traffic is an issue. This one's causing issues because it is, once again, a single turning lane, right? So it's rush hour now. So I would say this is a genuine thing to fix now. So I'm gonna upgrade you now. Sorry, shops. I'm gonna upgrade you too. Oh, but it doesn't, does it? Okay, it does fix the issue. There we go. Sorry, shops, you're gonna have to redevelop again. And here we go. So once we've created the double lanes, you'll see the flow will improve a lot better. So there we go. Eventually, this site will have this same issue. Oh my gosh, so many cars. So many cars. And all these people are moving in to the low rent area. Okay. I might actually just go ahead and preemptively upgrade this area. Oh, I can't. There is a connection issue. Sorry everyone. Please hold. Please hold. Right. Gonna do this. Okay, everyone, please redevelop yourselves. Redevelop. Come on. Okay. Oh, we have a condemned building here. Okay, it fixed itself. Lovely. I actually like this. This has naturally become at like a... This is almost like the high-rise area. We've left quite a bit of space as well. So, technically, I didn't want this area to be developed. So, when we move stuff... Let's actually move it, let's say... Okay, I'm gonna place a medium density here to replace all of these buildings. I know it's technically a different density, but it's okay. Like, the number of citizens will kind of cover itself, I would say. And so, this area becomes the park. And I will convert you to a row house. There we go. Makes more sense, I feel. Another t-shirt, redevelop yourselves. Oh my gosh. Upskill, upskill. Train yourselves. Okay, why is nothing developing here? Oh, okay. It wasn't even zoned. That's okay. Let's do here. Uh-oh, sorry to that building. Okay, now technically, I didn't need that extra road. It's just create some novel, like, patterns in our grid, if you will. Actually, you know what? No, let's not make novel patterns. That's a inefficient thing. Let's do this. Okay. Schools or hospitals? Oh, is there new schools? Schools. Schools. We've got one school at the moment. Oh, yeah, actually, good point. It's just about reaching capacity. It might be good to have a second school. Maybe over. Good call, Ezzy. Hospital-wise, let's check after we place down the school. Yeah, this area needs a school. And... oh, we have high schools! We actually had it the entire time. Oopsie, sorry, citizens. My bad. Snapping. Right, so small elementary school. Small high school. Let's find a place for you. Where would I put you? I guess it will be here. Put you there. Okay, so one high school is fine for now. And then eventually when this area develops, I'll probably put a high school like here. Actually, let's just place it here now. And yet, but switch it off. So, this is one thing you can do for services if you don't want it to run right away. Just like, click on it, and then switch it off. It saves you money in the long run. Hi Brengan! Not a bigger hospital, our council does lots of subdivisions, sells off to developers but no increase in hospitals. Sam's heading off to bed. Good night, Sam. Have a good rest. Okay, speaking of, this entire time, we've not talked about like how our city is doing money-wise. Oh, we're actually doing okay. Like, minus 1,400 is not that bad. But here's how you can interpret the numbers, okay? So, green versus red, commonsensical enough. So your revenue will come from taxes, which is just like what people pay, as well as service fees. So this comes from like parking fees, electricity fees, all of these things, right? Eventually when you do public transport, it comes from ticket prices. The expenses are just what it takes to run this city, right? So if we go under taxation, you can actually control the tax rate. So this is very much like City Skylines 1, but more granular. You can either do it the easy way, which is to just like across the board do like a tax hike, or if you really want to do it advanced, we see this arrow, we can actually in this game now tax based on the specific level of like your building. So you could give like uneducated a tax break, you could give like highly educated a tax rise. It's really up to you. Same thing for commercial. You can choose like a specific industry you want to tax. I know certain presidents at the moment that might like that.
Second musical home from home. So settle back.
Okay, we're gonna skip it. The housing shortage is at it again. Let's hold up, where were we? Yeah, so you can tax specific industries. Once again, not gonna make that reference. Officers as well. And under services, you can control whether you're running at like standard budget, whether you want to lower your budget a bit, whether you want to charge a service fee for your electricity, stuff like this. So, and here also breaks down like, so at the moment, our healthcare is crazy, education's doing okay, yeah, so there's like all of this, you know? So, as you can see as well, the number of roads we placed down have created like a really big expense as well. But overall, I would say, oh, we're almost covering out our like expenses actually. We're almost in the positives, which is not too bad. When I first played this game, oh my gosh, they were still trying to figure out the economy things. Oh dear me, it took so long for the city to make money. Like, it was bad. They fixed that now, but like, yeah, that was a tricky time in City Skylines. Okay. Medium density stuff. Let's do here. Do here. Let's do here. Okay, so lots of different buildings. They thought it was a good idea to allow a paid car park. No one used it, so they took the toll off and now it's full. Yes, I mean, so, okay, funnily enough, that actually applies to this game as well. You're gonna have to do balancing of parking. So, all of the roadside parking, right, is, generally speaking, free. There are ways in this game that you can actually enact, like, pricing on it. If we go here, city policies, you can do... Oh, we don't have it unlocked yet, but you can eventually, right? Whereas, you know that parking lot thing we placed down earlier? This one, you can, like, charge parking fees in this way. At the moment, it seems like our parking fees are not incentivizing anyone to park elsewhere because they are full. But it also may be a sign that we don't have enough parking. Also, look at this view. This looks cool. Look at this. It's like a lovely residential street. Looks nice and cozy, actually. And then you turn over to this side. Okay, and it's less cozy, but you know, it's still very cool. I like this here, like the park and everything. My gosh. Okay. People power. Yes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for today is I think we're gonna call it here because it's been 3.5 hours. I like how before I started the stream, I was like, oh, I don't know how long I'm gonna go for. Maybe we'll do a shorter stream because I'm technically not feeling well. But this is just what City Skyline does. It just commands your attention. You lose track of time, and it's been 3.5 hours, which is crazy. But I'm actually really enjoying playing the vanilla thing as well. Like, Montai's fun in the sense of the granular, like, you can actually create the way I want, right? But it's fun to also do it the organic way of just building something and seeing where it goes. So we're definitely going to continue this, I feel. But yeah, so that's going to be it for today, I think. Thank you so much again, everyone, for joining me. Hopefully this was a good, like, taster into how this game works. And we'll keep playing with it so you can see how it develops further. We're going to be next on, I think, on the weekend. And we're gonna be doing... I haven't decided yet. I did say, like, we'll try a variety game, right? But I feel like it's been a while since we did Dinkum. So maybe we'll do Dinkum? We'll see. Yes, it's either Dinkum or variety games. And we'll see. Because Dinkum's gonna go 1.0 in 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks, actually. Like, I think 9 days or something. So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, so we'll call it here today. Have a good rest of your night, day, evening, everything. Stay safe, stay well, and we will see you soon.